Hello. Oh, my lights aren't on. Hello. Hang on. Forgot to put my extra lights on. Duh. I thought I was ready. Hey everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. It is Fox from Model Making Guru here. Hello, hello, and welcome to Sunday. In fact, Warhammer Sunday. Yes. We didn't do one last week, and apologies. I had the family turn up with all the children running around, and the family, and the eating, and the family stuff, and yeah, it wasn't going to happen. They were here all day, so couldn't do a show last week. But welcome, welcome. It's Warhammer Sunday. If you've not seen one of these before, although I think most of you have, this is basically, weekend is my time where I work on my Warhammer army, the unending forces of the Holy Contrivance, a Principality of Xeon themed Warhammer Imperial Guard army. Yeah, just wrap your brain around that for a minute. If you know your Gunpla and your Gundams, it's a Xeon-themed army. And I just work on it over the weekends. You know, do all my other modelling stuff during the week. And I figured, may as well hang out with you guys on a Sunday for a few hours while I'm doing it. So you can hang out in the chat and win some stickers and have a good time. So anyway, yes, welcome, welcome. I know most of you have seen one of these before, but it's basically just, it's more just a chance to hang out and do the chatting and all that nonsense. And just have a good time while I do some painting. And I say do some painting, what I mean is mostly talk for 3 hours and not do much work. Yeah, so there you go. If you remember from the last few weeks, I'm working on my Chimera, which was very kindly gifted to me. So I'm working on that. Thanks, guys. That is coming along nicely. So far on this build, I have shown you how to do a sort of shading effect without using airbrush at all. This is all brush painting. And we've just got the green down, basically. We've just got this nice sort of green down. Now, I have got various different colour schemes for all my different parts of my army that I am building. Again, it's Principality of Xeon themed. If you've not been watching previous episodes, I'm going to have things like 3 Imperial Knights. One of them has been done and is painted like a Zaku. One of them will be painted up like a Goof, Ramparal's Goof. And one of them will be painted like Char's Zaku 2. So nice and red for that one. And we're going to have different groups of the dudes having different colour schemes, but I've decided on the bog standard Imperial Guard troops will have a green scheme for the vehicles at the very least, to match, you know, Xeon ground vehicles that tend to be in the green colours. So the troops themselves, the dudes and the figures, will have various yellowy green shades uniforms, but the vehicles themselves are going to be this kind of olivey green standard military colours, which is what seems to be the standard for the Xeon vehicles. I was going to do a bluey grey colour scheme, but that's more Federation vehicles like the Recon team and things like that, so I decided against that. Anyway, let's have a quick look and see at the chat. Now, if you've watched one of these before, as always, you'll know, or if you haven't watched one of these before, there is a chat thing here, there, which is so you, out there, can watch the chat here and see what people are saying. And if you haven't got access to the typey chat, you can see it here, but you are missing out. So you want to come and join the typey chat. If you're watching this on the Patreon page or the Facebook page or somewhere else where there's no actual typey chat thing, all you need to do is click the little YouTube icon, which is down here somewhere in the bottom right hand corner. Click on that and it'll magically take you to the YouTube page where you can join the typey chat. And it's worth it because I have some stickers to give away. I have some new stickers to give away. Oh, yes. We give away stickers and stuff later on. We're still not doing the Wheel of Giveaways just yet. I'm still getting myself sorted out financially, so that's still on hiatus for the moment. Don't panic, it will come back. What else? If you want to ask me a question, for the love of dog, please do, because I need some shizzle to talk about for 3 hours. You can put it in the typey chat. Just make sure to put it in big, fat, capital letters, so I have a chance of seeing it. My iPad's over here, and I'm painting here, so I'm not going to be looking at my chat all the time. So put your question in big fat capital so I have a chance of seeing it. If you want to make sure it really gets seen though, you can click the little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. That's the super chat button. And that puts your question or comment in a big colour box and it makes a little noise at my end so I can hear it as well. And I'll know you made a comment. And as always, if you can't get access to chat at all, you can always send me an email. Where's the email address? fox@modelmakingguru.com. You can pop me an email with your question or your comment or whatever you want to send me on email. When I do the stickers later on, if you want to send me a question and an answer, then if I use your question and answer and you include your name and address, I will send you a sticker for reading out your question. So there you go. And last of all, as always, before we crack on with the proper buildy painty stuff, we're still doing the stream boss battle. Aviad Madar is still the stream boss. You guys aren't really getting yourself down much. If you're not sure what that is, basically Stream Boss Battle, Aviad Madar is one of you lovely viewers. He's the current Stream Boss. You guys are working to get his health down to 0, and whoever gets his health to 0 will win 200 to 300 quid's worth of Warhammer or Forge World stuff. How does it work? Basically, every time you do a super chat with the symbol at the bottom of the chat window, or if you do a tip through the tip jar, which is streamlabs.com/modelmakingguru, the address is here. Or every time somebody subscribes to this channel who isn't already a subscriber or hasn't been a subscriber before, it takes a bit of his health off. And the more you put through as a super chat or a tip, the higher the amount, the more of it health his takes off. The more of his health it takes off. I should say that with real words. And all that money that's raised goes into a pot, and what you win if you become the stream boss and get him to 0 is you win that pot. I say you have a budget of X pounds, and you say I would like this, and this, and then I order it from Games Workshop or Forge World, and it gets sent to you by magic, and you have other things. So last time Aviad won, it was 280 quid was the budget, was the pot, and he got a load of kill team stuff, so it's worth doing it. So get doing your super chats and your tips, and if you're not subscribed already, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell, and that helps get his health down. So let's have a quick look at the chat by starting off by swigging my coffee. But Enormous Coffee is obviously in the house. And then we have my obvious cleanup crew for Enormous Coffee, which is the tissue to get a gallon of coffee out of my moustache. There we go. So everybody was in chat first. Now, Paul at Glued to the Sprue says he was first because he says just to get in way before Pascal. And then Pascal responded with, of course, glad Glued to the Sprue. I won't be joining today. I've got family stuff. I think Pascal was still in before Paul, I reckon. Because even if you are the first in chat 3 hours early, Pascal's probably already there. Just because Pascal is in every live stream. He is YouTube. Pascal is actually part of YouTube. He's part of the system. He's in YouTube. He's in the YouTubes. So Paul's in, who then signed out because he didn't sign in his Team Inept. So then he signed back in his Team Inept. So hello, Paul. Pascal, welcome. Hey, all have a nice stream, he says. He can't make it. Nim Cinderin. Oh, poo, I'm the third today. Ah, well, never mind, Nim. Close enough. Dad is in. Hey, Dad. Dad and Paul at the moment are currently your team mods. Team mods? No, chat mods. Not that you guys need any moderation because you all really well behave. But obviously, this is a... If you know I do some e-model streams, they're family friendly. This is my stream. This is nothing to do with e-models. It's not family friendly. You're allowed to say rude words in the chat if you want. I don't care. I'm not going to use rude words if I can avoid it because I need to obviously make some money on this. This is monetized. But if you want to use rude words, you can do. You don't have to be all nice and family friendly. But don't be a complete tool. Obviously, if you're a complete tool, then one of the mods will kick you out or I might ban you. So just be nice. Let's see, we have Redlen is in. Afternoon, everyone. Welcome, Redlen. Borry Models, welcome, Borry. Cy Reynolds is in. Come try says Cy Reynolds gets 10 XP for saying, come try I get that reference. If you get that reference, you also get 10 XP. George Gabriel is in. Might be able to actually watch one today. Welcome, George. Welcome. Look, George. That's the little U-boat. As soon as that is done, guess what I'm building? Guess what I'm working on as soon as it's done, George? You know what I'm working on, George. You know what I'm working on. You know what's next after that submarine. You just know. It's big and red and it's awesome and it'll end up in your house. Anyway, George is in. Let's have a look. That's Redland, Cy Reynolds. Lots of talk back and forth. I have an announcement to make, which will probably just increase the grin on Nim's face even more. If you are not a member of the Gumpler Junkyard, which is a group on Facebook, this is a Warhammer stream, so of course we're going to talk about Gumpler. Hey, it's my stream, I'm going to talk about Gumpler. If you're not a member of the Gumpler Junkyard on Facebook, you go to Facebook and do a search for Gumpler Junkyard and join. They are having a group build. An RPG group build, and today is the final day to submit your whatever you need to submit. I've not had a full look at I'm a bit ill prepared. I'm not quite sure what the group build is. Nim's in the chat. He can explain. She can explain it. But if you're taking part in that group build and you're watching this, get your submission in today. Today's the last day. If you're not in that group build and you're not in the junkyard, get joining and just join anyway. There you go. She mentioned it in the chat, and then like half the chat just joined the group. So awesome. Nim says it's a Facebook group similar to the Boom Hut. We mostly just hang out to show off our kits and ask for advice with the occasional meme and the like. And then Cy Reynolds says, memes you say, I'm in. So go and join that group if you're not already. Iru is in. Welcome, Iru. Who else do we have? Captain Weirbeard is in. Welcome, Captain Weirbeard. Just catching up with the chat. Cy Reynolds is asking Dad what his first was asking Dad, hey Dad, is your first ever Gumpler going to be an RX-78? And I said, I cornered him into getting it. Of course it's an RX-78. And he says, it could have been a Zaku. Right. Wayne Haywood is in and Osric 9000 are both in. Welcome to both of you. You don't know the size of the grin on my face at the moment, says Nim. I just wanted to catch any members here that were in our contest and make sure they're all set for final submission, and we now have 8 trillion more members. Yes. So many more members joining, she says. Right, I think we're catching up here. Heresy says Eru, but I'm not quite sure. Turn the lights back off, says Paul. Thank you. What is weird is he had Dad get a Fedi suit, so I got Dad to get an RX-78-2 Federation suit, but he's building a Xeon army. Yeah, because I don't know if I'm going to build an army. If I built it as Federation, it'd be kind of boring. It would be kind of boring because Xeon is much more interesting, because Xeon is much more real world military than the Federation. Federation's all nice colours and nonsense. It's like, if I built... No, it's much more interesting to make the... You know, I couldn't do... My Zaku, my one Imperial Knight that I built and painted is a Zaku, and it's knackered and covered in rust and dirt. You wouldn't really get that on like a GM or anything like that, so... Yes. Jamie Bone is in, as is Adam Clark. The chat just jumped. Darn it. Where did chat go? Yeah, there's a lot more potential for dirt and weathering with the Xeon army. If it was a Federation army, it'd just be boring. And there's a lot more reference to Xeon uniforms and Federation and Xeon vehicles as well. Plus, there's a lot more decals. It looks awesome. It's like real life. The Nazis had the best looking stuff. They were evil, and we hate them. But if you compare it to all the other factions in the war, they had the best looking stuff. The best, vehicles and uniforms. They had the style. And the same with the Xeons. They may be, well, as I say, the bad guys, but technically nobody's the bad guy. See, Gunpler's a bit like Warhammer. There's no real bad guys. It's all grey areas. But yeah, technically they're bad guys, but they have much more interesting stuff to look at. Right, hang on. I need to catch up with the chat, because it jumped. People came in. Jeff Longman, hello, welcome Jeff. Canadian, eh? Scott Sutherland, afternoon all. Jamie Bone is in. I won't be in Chris's stream later as I have family coming over. Well, thank you for coming in this one, Jamie. I will make your excuses for you later on, because I'll join in Chris's chat. I'll pretend to be you in the chat. I'll pretend to be you in the chat. I don't know how that works. I'll just stop now. Let's have a look. Sneaky Hunter Killer Missile, says Eru. Yes, it just jammed on the side. I need to paint it a colour. Tell them about the 20k giveaway, Beardy Man. I will do. I'll get there, don't worry. Not much point in me hosting an hour of cough time, says Chris. Are you not doing a stream tonight, Chris? Let me know and I'll tell everybody. Butcher that model, Dave says. But sorry, I'll start again. Wow, hang on. Coffee. That's actually quite weak today. If I sound really excited, by the way, it's because we've got new neighbours next door, literally right next door across our driveway. They're a really nice couple with a young lad, and they've just moved in. They've had some work done. They've just moved in today, and they've had a little bit of a housewarming. And all we can smell is they've obviously done a load of cooking for all the guests, because all you can smell are these wonderful sort of curry smells and aloo sag and all kinds of stuff coming out from the kitchen. And it's like, I'm dead excited because it's making me really hungry, and I really want lots of spicy food now. I'm like, oh, it smells fantastic. So my stomach's all like geared up to eat lovely, lovely curries and spicy foods, and it's not going to, obviously. But, and I was sad because I had to close my bedroom window because the neighbour was doing some lawn mowing, and if I had the window open now, all you'd hear is the other neighbour was their lawnmower going, so I had to close the window. But I'm sad now because I can't smell all the delicious smells coming from next door. They're a nice couple. They're really nice. I've only just moved in, so hungry already. I've not even started. Only just started the show and I'm starving already. Interzone 88 is in. Hi Fox. Hi all. Welcome. Anyway, yes, I was saying David Butcher, that model, says, afternoon all, sorry I'm late, just finished filming the start of a new video. Which means he's not really sorry, he just wanted to get the plug in that he's filming a new video. Make sure you go and subscribe. Dave is also a mod in the chat tonight. Let's have a look. You're not really late, Dave. It's only I don't even know what time it is. It's only like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Dad says to Chris, so no Orange Sunday. Yes, we need an Orange Sunday. And Si asks Chris if a germ has returned. Am I being subtle enough, says Paul. No, you're never subtle. You can't do subtle, Paul. Subtle like a brick. Mark Burgess is in. Welcome. I'll get through the chat first, then we'll do some stuff. Earl D, hi, afternoon, Fox. Good wow, hello. Afternoon, Fox. Some good guru-age for the afternoon. Yes, welcome. Welcome, LD. Nobody's talking. So Candygram for Mongo. Candygram for Mongo. Candygram. Mongo is porn in Game of Life. I love that film. Welcome, Candygram. Team Inept says cock and balls. See? Okay, I just said that out loud. I read that before I realised what he'd written. Apparently we aren't good enough mods, Dave, says Chris at Gross Models. What? I didn't say that. You're brilliant mods. Oh, poo, now Paul's going to use rude words, says Dave. Yes, I'm allowed to be a complete tool, says Paul. Paul is the only person who's allowed to be a complete tool in chat. Because that's like asking a spider not to be a spider. Let's have a look. Anybody else? Alex Geis is in. Chat just jumped again. I've got to find it. Here, but I'm troubleshooting on the oil rig at the moment. That has to be the most awesome thing I've ever read in a chat. You're watching my stream on an... I am live on an oil rig while you are troubleshooting some shizzle that's exploding. Awesome. Awesome. It's the best thing ever. Hi, I'm just watching your stream, but I'm in space. That's the only thing that could be better than that. I'm live on the internet and on an oil rig. Somewhere out in, I assume, the North Sea somewhere. David Butch, that model, says to Chris at Gross Models, everybody ignores the little fellas, Chris, until we're hacking them down from groin level. You get angry and you start biting people on the kneecaps. You did the gesture, only that's 100 XP model making guru. Wait, what gesture did I do? What? What gesture? I'm lost now. What gesture did I do? I need to catch up with the chat because as I'm talking, it's just more and more. Let's have a look. I'll try and catch up. Nicholas Eriksson, same goes for the Empire. More cool stuff than the Rebels. True. Welcome, Nicholas. The print guru. That's because Hugo Boss designed all the uniforms. Well, there you go then. Mark's Modelling Ramblings. They didn't invite you. I don't know who that's to, but welcome, Mark. I'll just quickly try and catch up now. James Lorimer, I am late. No worries, James. Not that late. Alex Guy says, no, West Texas on a land rig, not as exciting. Oh, you got like a nodding donkey thing, one of those, well, that just sits there and goes like that. That's cool. That's still cool. We'll let you off. Anyway, right, I think that's everybody I've caught up with in chat, so apologies if I've missed you. I think we're up to date. Right, so, yes, couple of bits of housekeeping. First and foremost, just so you know, videos might look a little different for a few weeks, purely because this thing that I do all my filming on in the entire world is deceased. It's dead. It's not dead, but the screen, or there's a hardware issue with the camera, so that when I try and do auto lock, it won't do it now. It never does it when I'm actually showing someone. If I try and do like a lock the focus and stuff, after a few minutes, it decides to make the entire screen just go pink or white or red. It's a bit knackered, basically. So I need to get a replacement. It's an old iPhone 5S, so I need to get that replaced. What I do all my filming on. So I'm going to get a replacement for that, but I need to wait till Patreon payday, and then I'm going to get myself a new, old 5S. So for the next few days, or the next week or so, what I'm going to have to do my filming on is my iPhone 6. Now, the thing is, the iPhone 5S, oddly enough, this doesn't sound very counterintuitive, but the iPhone 6S has a worse camera than the iPhone 5S. The iPhone 5S, even though it's old now and it doesn't go past iOS version 10 point something, actually has a far superior camera to the modern 6. Well, not modern, it's a couple of years old, but the camera on this is much better than that, which is why I want to get a new old one of these and not just use this phone. Also, this is my actual phone, and I don't want to kill it by using it as a camera. So for the next few days, if video quality goes a bit shonky, it's purely because I'm filming on the 6S, and it seems to be naturally dark. I don't think it's the physical camera that's different, but the software doesn't seem to be... The white balance is off. It's a colder, darker image, so just so you know. I might even have to maybe use this webcam here to do some filming, and that's going to look shockingly bad, but it's not going to stop me making content, because I need to crack on with Das U-Boot. Yes, I need to get that done, because after Das U-Boot is George's Master Grade Sazabi Verkar. Yes! So that needs to get done. Other update news, before we actually get some work done, is, if you haven't noticed, you may have noticed, and you should have already watched it, but I put a video up the other day celebrating the fact that we had reached I have reached 20,000 subscribers, over 20,000 now. And I just happened to post it on the 20th, which is kind of bizarre. But yes, I've hit 20,000 subscribers. I cannot thank you all enough. You guys are all awesome and lovely, and I love you all. But we're doing a giveaway. I keep saying we, like the roll we. I am doing a giveaway. Because we've hit 20,000, I'm giving something special away. I am giving away a Master Grade Verkar New Gundam kit. The box is open, but that's all that's been done to it. Everything else is still in the bags. I'm giving away Master Grade Verkar New Gundam kit, and all I am asking you to do is go and find the video on my channel. It's like done about a week ago, so just go and look up the videos. It's there. It's only a short video. Go and watch that and find out how you can enter the giveaway. And I will be pulling a winner for that giveaway on the 1st of March. So go and watch the video after the show. Obviously, don't watch it now. Just give it, wait till the show's finished. But make sure you go and watch that video. But again, I can't thank any of you enough for being subscribers. I love you all very dearly. I never thought when I started this I'd get more than 1,000. I never thought I'd even reach 1,000. And yeah, here we are with 20,000. Incredible. We've already gone past that now. 20,000, so many hundred. Insane. Thank you so much to all of you. What else? There's no other news don't think I need to mention. However, to stop someone sulking, I have some packages to open. I'm going to open them on this live stream, even though I wasn't going to. But to keep someone from sulking in the chat, a bit later on we'll do some package unopenings. I don't know, because I was threatened with sulkage in chat if I didn't open them. So I'm going to open them. See? You're happy now. There you go. I don't know. Right. I'll have a very quick look at chat and then we'll crack on with some work. Today we've got all the greens done. They are all done. Oh, let me know if the picture and sound is alright, by the way. Just as usual, I've done all my checks and tests, but I need to make sure you're happy with it. We've got all the green done over the last couple of episodes, which is this patchy, faded green effect. I wanted it to look weathered and worn, because don't forget, in Warhammer lore, these things can be, decades or hundreds of years old. They're not new. So we've got all the green done. What we need to do now is get all the other base colours done. So we've got to do the tracks, all the metal parts, any gold and trim, any blacks and other coloured areas that I haven't figured out yet. Not quite the figure, we'll leave him to the last. I may have to do the dude offline because he's too small and fiddly, but we'll see. So today we're going to start on the tracks and then go on the rest of the stuff. Quick last look at the chat. Chris says it's very hard having a conversation when Fox's half is 10 minutes late. What?
Pika pika!
Oh, hello, what was that? I swear this... wow, Nim, thank you very much. Nim's put $20 through as a tip and says, I swear this is not for the plug. If it's for the plug, I'll plug everything I can. Thank you very much, Nim. That's awesome. That's also taken a big chunk of Aviad's health off. Well done. Good girl. So yes, thank you very much. That's awesome. This all goes into the kitty for the giveaways. Thank you very, very much. Blanca, hello all. My alarm was too quiet. G'day, bro. Welcome. I wonder where you were. People are talking about many things. What are they talking about? When you stick your thumb in your palette of weathering oils. Hey, whenever I do a gunk wash, I guarantee you, or whenever I use oil paints for anything, I guarantee you, somehow, I will have oil paint on my elbow. Don't ask me how. Every single damn time, I'll have oil paint on my elbow. I could be sitting at arm's length from a palette. I'd still get oil paint on my elbow. I don't know. Let's have a look. Jeff's got one perfectly weathered thumb. What else is happening? All I can think about is curry right now. I'm really hungry. I have exciting news, says James Larimore. And then it waits about 6 comments. Let me scroll down. My lady and I applied for a loan to get a house. Well done. Good luck. Hopefully it comes through. Nice one. Simon Reynolds says, oh, James, you're adulting. Now, congratulations. Oh, your neighbours didn't invite you, I meant, says Mark. Mark said he didn't invite you then. Your neighbours didn't. No, they don't. I think they don't. We've only spoken to them briefly, once. And it was just a little get-together for the family, I think, to have a housewarming. So it was like, oh, yeah. Although we did wonder if they maybe they'd wander over later with an enormous plate full of food. Because they said, we always make too much food, we'll bring some over. I'm like, okay, it works for me. He said, what kind of curries do you like? And I went, all. Yeah, brilliant, we'll just give you lots of food. I'm like, I like these neighbours. I like these neighbours a lot. Yeah. Even if you don't get the loan, I'm just excited it happens, says James. Well, yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine. Good luck, fingers crossed. iPhone specs reminds me of work. Boo, says Captain Weirdbeard. Sorry. William Rayburn says, good morning, everyone. Hopefully your day is going better than mine. Oh, why? Tell us, everyone will cheer you up. Our job in chat is still the people's job. Wow, get my words out. The job of chat is to keep everybody cheerful and happy, so let everybody in chat cheer you up. LD says, we come for the guruing. It would not have picked this hobby up again if I wasn't for the vids. Well, thank you very much. Paul says, oh, I can't think who when I was saying about to stop somebody sulking. Wayne Larson says, oh, after 10,000 years, I'm back. Finally, I get to catch a live stream. Welcome back, dude. Wasn't even warned about the stream, says James. Yeah, some people don't get the notification. Even when they've... The thing with YouTube is, I always say, like, when you've subscribed to the channel, click the notification bell, and it should let you know when a live stream starts. I always set them to notify, to put it up on my page an hour before, and you should get a notification an hour before. The one thing to get into the habit of doing with YouTube, if you follow a lot of channels... here's some advice for you, because not everybody knows this. If you follow a lot of channels, and some of those channels do things like live streams, or you just want to make sure you don't miss out on their content, if you subscribe to those channels, if you go into YouTube, on the menu on the left-hand side, there is an option for subscriptions, and that's all the channels you subscribe to. And you can see there, each day, it shows you all the videos uploaded by all the channels. It actually shows all of them. All the videos uploaded by all the channels that you subscribe to. And I've clicked the notification bell. If you don't click the bell, sometimes it doesn't include them in that daily sort of list of videos. So I'm in the habit of every day I'll come into YouTube, I'll click on my subscriptions, and I'll just check who's uploaded what and what's. And it also shows live streams. If there's a live stream on somebody's channel in the next day or so, it'll show, you know, going live soon, and you'll see a countdown. So just keep an eye on your subscriptions page. It's a good way to keep in track with all your loved channels. It is the tubes, James, me neither. Yeah, there we go. Quano Man is in. Hi, Fox. Welcome, Quano Man. William Rayburn says, I have a hernia, been lying in bed for 2 weeks. Oh, have they operated on it? I was actually diagnosed with a hernia when I was 7, and I was supposed to have an operation. It never happened. I'm still waiting, basically. It never happened. Luckily, it's not been a problem for me, but, you know, unless I have a massive meal, sometimes eat a whole mess of food, I'm like, oh, I'm fat now and everything hurts. I can't do it. Then again, that's probably just me being fat. Dad says, talking of YouTube subs, me folks, I'll start that again. Well, let me summarize it. Dad's pimping for subs, so make sure to subscribe to Dad's channels, which is Scaly Models, or it might just say Dad. I think his channel's actually just called Dad. Click on his name, you'll see it. Trying to get to the magic hundreds for subs. Soz for the spam. No, you can spam. So if you're not subscribed to Dad's channel or Dave's channel, don't forget, Dave's channel is... Which one is it? Is it Butcher That Model? I always forget the name because there's 3 different names of it. Where have you gone, Dave? Butcher That Model. Dave's a channel as well. Also, Team Inept, like and subscribe. Team Inept, which is me, Chris and Paul doing video game nonsense, although it's usually Chris and Paul and not much me. Sergeant Bones is in. I don't know where he is, though. Oh, I forgot, he says. There, you're allowed. Right, let's get some work done, you lazy goddamn person who's not doing any work. Right, I shall get this gallon of coffee out of my moustache. There we go. Tell you what, nobody tells you when you grow an epic moustache that it's like a sponge for drinks. Right, so what we're going to do first of all is, I do apologise for having the sniffles, we are going to paint the tracks. Now, logic says you paint the tracks metal. Logic is boring. We're going to paint the tracks brown. Just bear with me. It'll all make sense when I've finished it and it looks awesome and you're like, wow, that's brilliant. I hope. It might not. It might look like ass. But remember, this isn't factory fresh. This isn't straight off the factory floor, you know. I need my helmet of seeing, which is somewhere. Stickers coming in a few weeks. Dad, help with the logo, says Dave at Butcher That Model. Cool, that means Dave's having stickers. But yes, anybody, I mean, basically what you should do is, anybody who's a mod in my channel typically have their own channel. So do, you know, click on the little 3 dots or the name and go and check them out and subscribe. The one thing I've said right from the start, people always ask me, can I pimp this, that and the other? And the one thing I've always said right from the start about my channel and the Boom Hut is that... Why has that got a thing on the end? Never mind. The one thing I've always said is that I'm always happy to pimp other people's YouTube channels because... And you might think, well, aren't they your competition? And it's like, no, we're not in I'm not in competition with anybody. I'm doing... What I do is I do this to teach people how to do what I do. I don't even know which brush I want now. I'm teaching people how to do what I do. And I'm trying to find a brush that's not going to take me 3/4 of an hour to paint the damn tracks. I think I might have to go for the... Monster might be a bit big. Have I not got... I'm sure I bought a base brush. Did I not buy a base brush? When I went to the shop and bought all the brushes the other day, did I not get a base brush? I'm sure I did deliberately get a base brush because I needed a base brush. I didn't, did I? I bet I completely forgot because I'm an idiot. Oh, you simpleton Fox, you absolute fool. Oops. And I'm dropping things all over the place. Right, I'm just going to put that there. And we'll just put that back on there. I went to the Warhammer store to get a base brush and I kind of bought a load of other brushes and not a base brush because I'm an idiot. I know I can't get this back in the thing. Get in the hole. There you go. I'm sure I bought a... Oh, Fox, you spoon. I literally went out to buy a base brush and came back with everything except the base brush. God damn it, Fox. Just gosh darn it. Oh no, hang on, what's that? That's an artificer. Yeah, well, we'll use those two. There we go. And now I've got no idea what I was talking about a minute ago. Brilliant. Well done. Oh yeah, so the whole thing with me is that these brushes are all the wrong way up. The whole point of what I do is I do what I do to teach people. So, and to encourage them to do stuff. And it would be stupid of me to encourage people to do this hobby and then not encourage them to do, you know, this part of it, which is the YouTubing. It's interesting and fun, and I'm trying to teach people. I should encourage, and I'm never going to not encourage someone to teach other people. So I'll just shut up now and do some painting. There we go. Model Maker Dave's Workshop is in. Hello all, welcome Model Maker Dave's Workshop. Right, so we're going to start off with some XV88, it's not even camera, XV88, which is a red, a sort of ochre brown colour, not red brown colour, but an ochre brown colour. We're going to start with that. We're going to do some things. So it will make sense. I mean, hopefully I'll get all these finished in the next 3 hours and it'll all kind of make sense to you. We shall start off with... Yes, that brush will be fine. Start off with my regiment brush. I've got to figure out where to put things now. So I want the wet palette there. I want the waters there. Where's the model going to be? The model's going to be there. I'm going to sit here. So the tiniest amount of water on this. As always, wet palette is damp. If anything, is moist. Tiniest amount of water. You can't even see how much. I'm going to mix that in. And then get myself a good reasonable point. Start getting these tracker tracks painted. Again, you might be wondering why I'm painting in this colour. It will hopefully come clear later on. That might be a bit too thin. I need a base brush. This brush is going to be too small. Right, I've got a base brush somewhere, but it's not the best in the world. But I may have to just like it and lump it for the moment. I can't believe I didn't buy a base brush. That was the whole point of me going to the Games Workshop store. Oh. In other news, my local Games Workshop store, the manager, Chris, who used to work there, he's come back. He went off to work at headquarters. He's come back, and Chris is brilliant. So I'm made up that my favourite manager is back at my local store. Awesome. Chris is well top. I need to do this in such a way that you can actually see what I'm doing as well, which is probably a good idea. Now, apologies while I am painting. I can't actually look at the chat at the same time. So I might miss a lot of what you're talking about in chat. Remember, if you need to catch my attention, if you've got a question or a comment that you need me to see, put it in big fat capital letters. If you want to guarantee absolutely that I'll see it, then you can do a super chat, which is a little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. That will put it in a coloured box, and it will also make a little noise. You know, when Nim did a tip earlier on, it made that little noise. It does the same thing for a super chat, so I have less chance of missing it. This may take a while, because this is an old base brush that's not very good. But it's better than painting it with a smaller regiment brush, which would take approximately all the time in the known universe. You see this okay? No, because my hand is completely in the way. Camera's in just the wrong place here, isn't it, basically? I know. I never plan these things. I'll probably make sure I get the edges with a smaller brush. Now, you might say, I could have left these tracks off to paint them, and it would have been faster. Yeah, I could have done. But it's just as easy to paint them when they're on. It just have to go a bit slower. A little bit of paint on. Oh. I'm going a bit splodgy here with the brush. In some of the wrong places. Get off. Well, that's fine. Because if I get any paint on there, I can just, while it's still wet, get some water on the brush and just wash it off. It's going to be weathered anyway. So it doesn't actually matter. That's fine. Jeez, not the fastest process in the world, this. I could have left the tracks off, but like I said, I don't really mind. It's not like I can't get to them. It's ever so slightly a little more fiddly, but not really much. Oh, Alex Geis, thank you very much. That's really kind of you, dude. Thank you, Alex. Let me just get this bit of paint on here, and I shall have a look. See, I don't miss super chat. First question of the day, says Alex. When masking, how do you get a clean edge? Mine have like a torn paper-like edge. Okay. Two things. It depends on the tape, and it depends on how you've masked it. I shall show you in a second. Let me get this little bit painted. If you've got like a torn rough edge, it may just be that you're using crappy tape. When you're doing masking, you want to use, if you can, proper Tamiya masking tape is the best, one of the best ones. Or there is like washi tape. If you can get washi tape from Japan, it's cheaper than this stuff, but it's just as good. This is tape designed specifically for model making, and the reason it's different to bog standard masking tape is that it has a very nice, crisp, clean edge, apart from there where it's caught on the side, and it's a low tack tape. So what I'll do is, when I'm masking, I will put the tape down on the cutting board, give it a squish, and then peel it back up again. Or you can do it on the back of your hand, or you can do it on a trouser leg or something. That takes some of the stick off, so that when you pull it off, it doesn't take all the paint off your model. Then when you place it on the model, get it down flat, and then if you have any edges or if there's a panel line here, what you do is get yourself a cotton bud or a cocktail stick. As far as my cocktail stick's gone, what I would tend to do, I would just burnish the edge with the cocktail stick just to make sure it's sticking down flat. So you want to make sure you rub it down. Now if you see, I don't know if you'll see on camera here, but as I'm pushing this down to the mat, it's going darker because there's less air trapped underneath. So when you get it on the model, get it down with your finger or your thumb, and then just burnish the edges just gently with a cocktail stick, flat like that. You're not jabbing it, you're just making sure it's squashed flat against the edges. Especially if it's going around a corner or over an edge or over a panel line or something, you can gently push it into panel lines by using the cocktail stick just to gently nudge it in. And there you go. If you need to trim the tape, let's say we haven't applied this tape yet, so we want to put the tape on there, but I don't want to use that whole piece of tape. What I do is I put it down lightly on the cutting board before I apply it to the model. Your modelling knife, and you can trim tape however you want. You use a ruler. I haven't got a ruler to hand, but let's say I had a straight edge or a ruler. Say I wanted half of that, I'd just cut it, and then you've got your tape then. Always be using a nice clean sharp knife to trim your tape if you want a smaller strip. And again, when you stick it on the model, make sure you're burnishing it down properly. But like I said, the last trick is it's down to the tape. If I was to use, say, this is 3M automotive tape. Now this does have a nice straight edge, but it's not designed for, you know, masking off a model. It's designed for masking off your car when you're machine polishing it. So this will probably give you a nice straight edge, but this will pull all your paint off because this grips like a leech. So you wouldn't use this on a model, other than if I was going to put this on a model, I'd make sure it was only sticking to me a masking tape or to newspaper or something like that. I'd never have this sticking to the plastic. But if you to use like frog tape or decorator's tape or any other kind of masking tape that's not designed as to have a nice crisp edge, you're going to get a rough edge. So it's two things. Use a nice tape that's got a nice crisp edge and make sure it's burnished down onto the surface to give you as smooth a finish as possible and to give it no gaps. If you're getting a fuzzy edge, you've not done one of those two things. The other thing to keep in mind is, of course, if you're brush painting, then it's always going to get paint going off the tape. If you're masking things off, ideally you want to be airbrushing the paint over the top. You don't want to be brush painting over that, because brush painting is always going to get paint going under the tape. And one last tip: you've got tape down on a model and you burnished it down and it's all ripped like that. You burnished it down, it's all nice on there. And whether, you know, if you're airbrushing, make sure you airbrush when you're doing the paint. Your paint is always going that way, not that way. Well, let me clarify that. Make sure your paint is either going that way, so it's going over the edge, or that way, but it's never going, you're never pushing paint under like that. Because if I do that with my thumbnail, see how the thumbnail goes under the tape? But if I do it here, nothing happens. You don't want to be forcing paint under the edge of the tape. So always make sure you're painting from the tape to the model when you're spraying. If you're brushing, if you have to brush paint when you've masked, the only thing I can suggest is dry brush the colour on. Let's say I had, there you go, let's say I wanted to paint a stripe. That's a really bad stripe. Let's say I wanted to paint a stripe here. I wanted to paint this stripe. If I was airbrushing it, I would kind of spray it from above so paint isn't forced under the tape, because it's quite thin, so I can't really paint any other way than just straight down. If I had to brush it, what I would do is I would dry brush it very slowly, very gently, and always make sure the brush, if you have to brush it, the brush goes from the tape to the plastic, from the tape like that. Again, it doesn't go this way. Think of it with your thumbnail. If I do the brush that way, it's going to push paint onto the tape. If I brush it that way, it's brushing paint that way. It's less likely to go under the tape. You'll still get some. The last thing to know is when you're taking the tape off, if you want to help preserve the paint underneath and not have it all pull back up, as well as taking some of the tack off on your hand or trouser leg or the cutting mat before you apply the tape, when you take the tape off, you don't just pull it straight up. I'll get the tape back because it's easier to show you. You don't just go like this, because that will pull paint off, even if it's a tough lacquer paint. If you're painted with acrylics, they're delicate. Don't just pull the tape off. What you do is you get the tape. I'll do it this way. You get the tape, and instead of yanking it upwards, what you do is you pull it back on itself like that. And that's how you remove tape from your mask. You don't just pull it straight up like that. Oops. Don't pull it like this. Because if you do it this way, you're introducing lots of shear forces and it can literally rip the paint off the model. If you pull it this way, the shear forces are much reduced and you're less likely to pull paint off because it's got the paint around it holding it in place. You can do it at an angle if you want. Some people like to do it this way and just kind of keep it flat again, but just pull it that way. Just again, because it's less shear force on the paint. So even with a good primer and a good paint, you sometimes might pull it off. So just go slowly. Always burnish the tape down. That's the trick. Burnish the tape down. Make sure it's a good quality tape. To me, a masking tape is one of the best by far, although it's not the cheapest. You can get washi tape from Japan, but then you've got to pay for shipping. It can work out a lot cheaper. But just don't use decorator's tape or anything like that. And again, two reasons. One, like you found out, the edge is rough, and two, they're too sticky. The model making tapes are designed to be friendly towards the paints on your models. Let's have a look. Oh, Colin's in. Hey, Colin. Colin at Festa67 Workshop, another channel you guys should subscribe to. If you don't mind multicoloured washi tape, you can get rolls of it cheap from Hobbycraft, much cheaper. Yes, this is Mark Burgess. Yeah, I've got some down in my box down here. I got a load of it. When I saw a video on YouTube talking about washi tape, I had no idea what it was. Washi tape is just as good as the Tamir masking tape, but a lot cheaper. I didn't know you could get it from Hobbycraft in the US though, so there you go. Sorry, Hobbycraft in the UK. Oh, I'm just gonna take that phone call. 1 second. I'll put on standby. Hang on. Thanks, Colin. I thought I'd turn the microphone back on there. It's a very fiddly switch on this microphone. Yes, that was the new neighbours phoning me. So I think all the guests have gone home, and I've had to send Mama Fox around because I'm obviously doing the stream. So I'm hoping. Hang on, who's that? Dad telling me to turn the microphone off. Is my microphone back? I should be on now. You should be able to hear me now. So yes, so hopefully they're giving us a load of food. I don't know. I can't say for sure. But all the guests have gone now next door, so I'm assuming they're going to say, here's a load of food that we made that we're not going to eat. That'd be brilliant. So I've sent Mama Fox round. Everybody in chat is saying, muted. Sorry, guys. Yes, the button on my microphone is a bit finicky. Well, who's that now? Third mic reminder. Chris, I think I'm on now. Am I live? You can hear me now, can't you? I hope so. I should be on. Right. We do expect to see what food is on the live stream. Half-chewed sarnies, says Mark Burgess. No, it'll be hopefully some kind of delicious, spicy goodness. Being an Asian family, and judging by the smells that were wafting across the garden this morning and this afternoon. Oh. Now, she's been gone for a while. I'm not hearing much. So we shall see. It might not be. They might just be saying, hey, sorry if we were loud. But they weren't. They were fine. Okay. So, yeah, masking tape. It's down to use good tape. Don't use crappy decorator's tape. Make sure it's burnished down to the surface correctly. And if you can avoid brush painting over a masked area, try and avoid that. Always go for airbrush. If you have to brush, use a dry brush technique. You still get paint going under the edges. You're never going to get away from that when you're brushing it, because you're literally going to be forcing paint under the tape. But it will minimise it. Now, I'm not being too precise with this layer of paint. You can see here I've still got some patchy bits around the edge, but that's fine. I don't really care. I'll go around the very edge so you don't just get a green edge. I'll do it on camera as well. Let me turn the chair around. To be honest, hang on. Colin says to Paul at Team Net, you know you want to message Fox as well. Did you give Mama Fox the wheelbarrow, says Dad. Oh, yeah. I think I will have my wide make curry now, says Wayne Larson. Team Inept. To be honest, I can't get my words out. Paul says he'd probably message me just to tell me he prefers it when I'm on mute. Yes, the button on that microphone is a bit funky. Doesn't always actually do anything when you press it. What I should do is just learn to look at the microphone when I press the button to make sure it's actually muted. Now, yes, what I'm trying to do here, you may be wondering why I'm painting these tracks a very sort of reddy brown colour, sort of ochre colour. It's meant to be an old tank. It's going to be battered and weathered. So, the last thing I want to do is make the tracks look clean and factory fresh. These things are supposed to be old and well used and battered. So I want to make them look worn and a little bit rusty, but not massively, but worn and used. Like it's just, you know, it's just steel, maybe not stainless, it's just steel that's in contact with the ground. The ground's often wet and it's just damp and it's rusty and corroded. Like a proper tank. So I want to get this rusty corroded effect. Now I'm not being too careful because I'm going to do lots of washes and stuff over the top. Hang on, I may have an update. I'm just going to clean my brush off. I shall mute the microphone temporarily. 1 second.
If you want.
Right, I have something to show you, which I'm going to take back downstairs and not eat right now, but look at this. Look at this. Hang on, if I can... Look at this! There's... Oh, I can't really get it on camera, but there's curries and there's balls and there's... I'm going to be eating all of this. So I'm going to take it back downstairs. I'll be back in a second. I am returned. Sorry about that. Oh, I just had a quick nibble of a spicy ball. Oh, it was spicy. Right. Oh, that's nice. So I'll have that for my tea when I finish streaming. Yes. So, anyway, thanks for watching. We're off now. Bye. I'm just joking. Paul Di Tommaso says, I can't quite believe I'm going to say this, never had curry. Not sure if it's something I would like. Yeah, you need to have all the curries. Now it does depend where you are and what kind of curry you want. There are many different types. There's obviously what we over here in the UK will call Asian curries, which are from the Middle East, from India, Pakistan, those kind of countries. Whereas I know if you're in the US, Asian to you is like Japan and Korea and Thailand, so you know what I mean. What the Americans would refer to as Persian food, I guess. Brush down there into behind this bulldozer blade. Oh, that's a nice taste. I'm going to be eating all that when I finish this stream. That's my dinner sorted out. But there's a million different types of curry out there. There's not just curry. Even within one specific genre of curry, you've got lots and lots of different recipes and types. So if you've never had curries, I do recommend it. Well, it depends where you are. Like I say, if you're in the US, sort of what we would call Asian curries, you're probably harder to find because it's not as big a thing over there. I'm going to go in there with a smaller brush, I think, because that's a bit too tricky to get the brush down there, this big fat base brush. So anyway, yes, I'm going for a rusty effect. So I'm not too fussed right now if it's patchy and uneven, because it's going to be rusty but with bare metal exposed and dirt and dust. So what I'm doing for now is just getting a base patchy coat of rust down. I say it doesn't need to be neat and tidy. That looks yummy. I haven't even had breakfast yet. Says William Rayborn. It is yummy and I haven't had breakfast yet, and that'll do as my breakfast, that would. I need to go to the kitchen now, says Sergeant Bones. Are you using a picture frame as a tray, says Alex? No, it's on a lap tray. It's like a wooden tray with a squishy thing underneath so you can put it on your lap. That Mama Fox brought it up on. Oh my God, says Dad. Hi Mum, says Colin at Festa. I did a pants accident, says Paul at Team Inept. Oh, I'm getting food soon, I'm hungry now, says James. I've got this delicious taste in my mouth now. Oh. There was a man called Bob who had an incredibly long key fob. That was spicy enough to give him a runny nose. It did. It's made my nose go all tickly and everything now. Well done, Sergeant Bones. Sticker on its way, says Colin at Festa 67 Workshop. Here in Canada, we probably have them all, says Paul. Okay, cool. That's all right then. There's different types. Like I said, the Japanese curries are nothing like, say, what we would call Asian curries. I don't know what in Canada you would call what we say people from Asia. Say people from, like, you know, India, Pakistan, Iran, Iraq, Sudan, Saudi Arabia, all those kind of courses. The Middle East, we just refer to them as, you know, Asians. So Asian curry to us is that kind of food genre. So I don't know what you would refer to that as in Canadian land. Kebab is a big deal here in Germany. We got Thai and Chinese, but no Indian, says Sergeant Bones. That's a sadness, that is. Because the beauty of you know, say the gift of that food that they brought over, because there's two types of Asian food in this country. There's the type that actual Asians make, which is fantastic and proper real food. And then the type you get in an Indian restaurant, which is just generic pap, basically. So hopefully when I eat that later on, it's going to be a nice experience. Because it's proper homemade food, not just restaurant nonsense. There's a big fat naan bread in there. I could smell it and see it and smell it. I need to get some more paint on this palette. Stickers printed, stash on its way to you, says Colin. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Most kind of you, sir. I've lost track of what the chat's doing now. I'm too excited about food. I just want to finish the stream now and go and eat me curry. Let's have a look. Lee Gallop, hey, I made it. Welcome, Lee. You just missed a big tray of curry that my neighbour's just dropped off. And I had one little mouthful, and it's just my mouth is doing little dancing moves at the minute. Oh. So let's carry on with this. We are just painting tracks today, Lee, at the moment. Is this payback for all the time I've ordered food and said what I ordered and that's made you hungry, says Nib? No, it's not at all. It's just the fact that I could smell the food from across the path for all of this afternoon. And that I was hungry anyway, just hoping that they would bring some food round. I don't know, part of me just thought, wouldn't it be brilliant if they just had made too much food and brought loads of it round and I could eat it with my face? And they did! Yes! I like my new neighbours! Do. The neighbours that have just moved out, the wife Sue, she apparently liked to cook. So she used to make lots and lots of food, like roast dinners and stuff, and roasts and Sunday lunches and things. She always made too much, so we used to get little gifts of food coming over. We'd be like, yes. One requirement, if you want to be a neighbour of mine, is that you need to A, like cooking, and B, like giving food away. That way I'll know you'll be a good neighbour to me. Because I hate cooking and I like eating. So it's like a symbiotic thing. We can work together on it. I've got a taste in my mouth now. Oh. Back now, I just had roast chicken dinner, says Redlen. Oh, nice. Roast chicken dinner. All I can think about now is food. I've really actually just messed up my entire body schedule now because all I can think about is food. And I wasn't going to eat anything till dinner time. Oh, it's all gone wrong. I've never had Afghan food ever that I'm aware of, says James. I don't think I've actually ever had Afghan. Oh, I might have done once. I think I'm into a takeout once that did Afghani food, as well as I think Libyan, Afghani, and something else. I can't remember. I may be talking out my ass. I'm sure it was somewhere down south somewhere. In Scotland we curry everything, but we also fry everything. So what do we know? Says Snowman HFC. Deep fried curry. Oh, I find it really. It's kind of really amusing that like it's kind of the point now where the national British dish is basically curry. It's fantastic. It always makes me happy that. Okay, so like I said before, we're getting like a rusty effect on these tracks. I'm not fussed if it's patchy and uneven because we're going to do a fair few washes over these shades. It's just to get a rusty effect. I'm wanting, and like I did with the bodywork, the hull I suppose you want to say, like I did with the original paint on the body, because we're brush painting, I want to introduce some unevenness and patchiness, which is why I did a black primer coat really. It's got to look weathered and beaten, so creating an imperfect paint job is the perfect way to do that. And taking advantage of any little painting mistakes that you make is also a good way to keep things looking random and varied. Random and varied, because this won't look this colour once it's finished. It won't be this colour at all. Hopefully. Now this isn't the best brush in the world because it's a scruffy old base brush even, so it's not exactly brilliant and pristine, so it's kind of lending a bit of a patchy quality to it anyway. Now if I was really tempted, if I was really wanted to, I could do the old rubber pads on the tracks effect. But I've got to be honest, I kind of don't get the impression that the Imperium really care enough to put rubber pads on their tracks. I don't think they care enough about, you know, keeping their pavement, roadways pristine and not knackering up pavement and stuff. I think they just churn them out and don't actually care that much. So there we go, that's that. So all I need to do now is go around the, oh, splodged a bit, but that's fine, I can touch that up in a bit. Now you notice I've gone over to the green areas a few times here and there. Doesn't matter at all. We're going to be putting lots of weathering like that there. I'm going to be putting weathering on here and dirt and dust. You're not going to see that. You're not going to see that at all. So I've got some patchy dark areas that are still dark green around the edges of the tracks. That's absolutely fine. I've got to go around the actual edges now. So we'll get a smaller brush going. Fox, open the packages, that will solve your hunger, says Team Inept. I'm going to shortly. Yeah. Let's have a look. Every live stream you do, I end up starvicating, says Quano Man. Yeah. Can you batter and fry curry, asks Sergeant Bones. James Lorimer says, yes, you can batter and fry anything. Dave says, our national dish should be kebab because George was a Turkish knight that converted to Christianity. I'd be okay with that. I like Adonis, says Paul. Whether the tracks with orc blood, says Mark Burgess. Zadster, afternoon, Fox and Peeps. Hey, Zadster. You've missed an enormous plate of curry that's just been gifted to me. Wow. Right. So I need to do the edges of these tracks now. So we shall go for my regiment brush, which is a bit smaller. A little bit of water in here. A little bit more, maybe. Now I don't want this to be like super thin or anything, because if I have it too thin, it's just going to be a wash and that's just rubbish. What I want to do now is very quickly, and again, like with all my paint jobs, I'm not being careful, I'm not being thoughtful. I just want to run around the edges. just to make sure I get at least some semblance of the rust colour around the edge of the track. There'll be gaps and there'll be bits missing. That's fine. We're going to put a shade on here anyway, just to make it blend in a bit. See, I'm not being careful. I'm not being delicate. I've got some paint on the outside of the hull here, but again, it doesn't matter. We're going to be putting shades down. So I'll get a little bit more water. I do prefer, when I'm doing a paint job, I'm not a neat painter. I'm not the kind of person that does a super delicate neat paint job, because I'm not the person that does super clean vehicles anyway, as you well know. But I find that I'm kind of the Bob Ross style, although that's kind of not quite fair, because Bob Ross was like, it looks like he's just slapping paint around, but he's very, very careful about what he does. I am kind of sometimes just slapping paint around, but I know that I'm pretty much in control, and where I do go wrong, it can either be easily fixed or part of the effect of the weathering. So I'm not like taking hours and hours to paint, you know, a bit of track here and make sure I don't get any other bits of the hull and stuff like that, because I don't need to. Get this brush down there. It's not the right brush for the job really, this, but the base brush is too big. Like, for example, I can't quite get the brush onto the tip of the track here, where it's behind the dozer blade, but you know what, it doesn't matter, because it's going to have weathering and stuff in there anyway, so, and it's going to have shades that are going to hide a lot of things. So again, you don't need to be 100% precise with this. And I try and embrace the idea when you're painting that there's nothing wrong with doing a beautifully crisp and neat and delicate and careful paint job. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. You should take pride in your work. But if this was a figure, I obviously would be crisp and precise and neat. But it's a knackered old tank. I don't need to worry so much. And always keep in mind, at the back of your mind, whenever you're doing a scruffy, dirty build like this, you are going to do shades. And shades, like I've said a million times before, shades hide a multitude of sins. If you painted something and the edges are a bit rough and ready, not quite neat and crisp, don't worry. Because when it comes to putting the shade on, the shade's going to go around all those edges and fix all your problems. So you've got a bit of paint. I've got a bit of the brown paint on the rim there. Doesn't matter. Does not matter at all. Go around that. So embrace the chaos of just roughly painting things. It just adds a natural feel to things. I shall check chat in a moment. And my hand's in the way, I do apologise. So how is everyone anyway? How have you all been? What are you all working on at the moment? What's on your bench right now? What's tickling your fancies as we speak? Well, maybe not as we speak. It's a bit too personal. But what... steady, Neris. What have you got on the go at the moment? Like I said, I've got this for my army, but I'll get back to it on Monday. I'm working on that little U-boat for remodels. It won't take long to get that done. I've been a bit tied up the last few days, not had a chance to do anything with it, but doing that little U-boat for remodels. As soon as that's done, then it's onto the master grade Sazabi version Shanghai Dragons. And then once that's done, it's time for the perfect grade Millennium Falcon. Yeah, I made the terrible mistake of opening the box the other day. Oh, big jobs. It's a big job, that. It's going to be a fantastic job. I mean, a fantastic build and paint job. I'm just sad that I have to give it back. Like the Eagle, it's one of those ones where I'm never going to make it again, because once you've built something like that, I don't particularly want to make another one, or build another one, or paint another one. It'll be my third Millennium Falcon now in that scale. I'm kind of done on falcons once I've done that. So come on, get that in there. I don't want to get paint on the dozer blade, but we'll get paint in there. There we go. Yeah, so I'm not quite getting all the paint on all the bits of that track there at the front. But again, doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. It's going to be covered in dirt and dust. And again, don't forget, as always with this thing, we're painting it to a standard where it'll look... I'm painting it to a good standard. Don't get me wrong. I'm not half-arsing this. It's going to be a good paint job. But it's a tabletop. It's going to be played on the tabletop. It's not a museum quality piece. I'm not aiming for that. So... some edge, not cutting, not, what's the word I'm looking for, not compromises, but you know, I don't have to spend 6 hours painting these tracks to a realistic standard, because I can't go too pretty with any of the stuff on these vehicles, because these have got to be handled regularly, constantly when they're played on the tabletop, so they've got to be tough as old nails. Right, we'll have a quick look at chat, then when it gets to past, we better do some packaging, unpackaging, I suppose. Keep somebody happy. Right, let's have a look at chat quickly. I'm going to eat the fridge, says Quano Man. Haha, all of it is going in my face whole. Yes. I actually started as well. I was so hungry last night and I was desperate. I was starving hungry about 11:30 last night. And I actually made a start on that big box of British 24-hour rations, army rations that Tony and I were going to do a little video of eating them. And then we never did, and Tony's already eaten it, so I was like, oh, so I had last night the full English breakfast from the ration pack, and today for my tea I was going to have the beef bourguignon that you get. It's like a beef, not beef bourguignon, some kind of beef thing anyway, that I put with rice, but I'm not going to have that now. I'm going to have curry, yes. I'll take a proper photograph anyway. When we finish the stream, I'll go downstairs, I'll take a proper photograph of the tray of food, so I'll put it in the boom hut for you. Dad says 82 subs now, thanks everyone. Yay. In case you didn't join us at the start, or you've not been in for long, I'm basically today encouraging everyone to subscribe to everyone. Notably, obviously all my mods have their own channels, so do go and, you know, subscribe to their channels. You can click on the name or the 3 dots. But even people in the chat who whose names are in grey, have a look and see if they've got a channel. All you do is you click on the 3 dots at the right hand side of the chat window where the comment is, and it'll say go to channel. And I always encourage people to follow each other, just because it's awesome if you do. Frankie Goes to Hobwood's in. Welcome, Frankie. Welcome, welcome. I'll be giving one of your stickers away today. Let's have a look. Wayne Haywood is starting to assemble some Star Wars Legion miniatures. Cool. Quano Man is just about to start on a 1/12 scale Darth Vader. Awesome. Tyrone Key, welcome Tyrone. He says, I be painting some of my Death Watch. He says I be, so I thought he'd go Penzance. That's right, I be painting some of my Death Watch. I be using the really nice little dark colours and some silver lettering on there and get them all looking right nice and everything, Tony. Captain Weirbeard is working on some 1/144 scale TIE fighters, painting them for his daughter. She wants them purple. Kick ass. Dad's working on his Warhammer Dreadnought. Good girl. William Rayborn says, wish me luck. I'm going to try and make breakfast. By when you say try and make breakfast, is it something really challenging? Just have curry. Curry's great. David Butch, that model, is making 5 Space Marine Scouts with the sniper rifles. How are they, dude? Because that's an old kit, that, and I get that in my Conquest thing eventually. It's an old kit. Let's have a look. Osric 9000 is currently assembling missiles for his Chinese jet fighters. Cool. Zaku with the big gun, says Alex Geis. Nim Sindrian is working on detailing her friend's Perfect Grade Millennium Falcon by Odin's Beard. It's huge. Yeah. It's I've done 2 of the I did 2 of the Fine Molds Falcons, and they are big. Same scale. But they were Empire, not A New Hope, so different proportions. But yeah, big. Paul Tutamasa says everything is okay here in Kandan. He's back. He's been doing his patrol, and he's back now, so nobody's broken in and stolen all the candy. I have a Lebacasa pizza style on the go in the oven, says Frankie. Whoa. Oh. Festa, Colin at Feta 67 Workshop is sorting through greebles for an upcoming build, ... model making gear. I know what that build is. You don't know what that build is. I know. Me and Colin know. It's going to be awesome, trust me. Interzone 88 is working on his Age of Sigmar Stormcast and 40k Reavers. Dave will like you working on your Sigmar Stormcasts. I wonder who the package is from. Says Dad. No actual modelling here this week, sadly, says Sadster. Aww. I've not had a chance the last couple of weeks. I've not had a chance to do any real painty buildy modelling at all. Various things have been going on. It's been a real pain in the bum. That's why the U-boat is still a box of bits. I've got the camera in the wrong place to show you anything today. The U-boat is still a box of bits. I'm not painted it. You're not even primed it yet. Redlan 08 is trying edge highlighting for the first time. I can't do it very well at all. I tend to avoid it just because I can't do it. I don't know what's going to happen when it gets to the point in the Warhammer Conquest magazines where it talks about edge highlighting, if it does, and I'm supposed to do it, and I'll be like, oh, can't do that. Zadster says, if browsing Games Workshop looking for inspiration counts, then that. By inspiration, do you mean things to buy? I'm custom building a travelling wizard for AD&D. Says Demon Lahal Draws. Demon Lahal Draws, I think. It's not hard to read, it's just hard to see because it's a bit small on my screen. If we follow each other, says LD, we will never get lost as long as the person at the front knows where they're going. In that case, you're screwed because none of us know anything about anywhere where we're going. You can't expect anybody in this chat or any of these people that run these channels that you follow to know what the hell they're doing. None of us do. We don't know what we're doing. They are okay, Fox. No fit issues, says Dave about the snipers. They should be kind of very similar in age to the dudes in the Landspeeder. The one with the 6 guys in it, not the Space Marines. Mark Burgess is working on Ebro Rob Walker Racing Lotus Type 72C 1970. Ooh, nice. Dad says, welcome to Demon Lahal Draws. Yes, welcome. Wayne Lawson is building is working on an Ultra Zord from Power Rangers Super Sentai. 7 kits in total to make one. Wow. All I can smell is the curry downstairs now. Oh. Use the Citadel app for edge highlighting, says Dad. I can't paint an edge highlight with the app. I can paint it with the brush. Yeah, it's just the one thing I've never been able to do is edge highlight. I'm not delicate enough to do careful edge highlighting. I just can't do it. Zadster says, Games Workshop thing to buy. So many things, so little money. Painting Plague Marines, says Carl Bloomer. Welcome, Carl. LD says, thin the paint a bit more and use the side of the brush to do the edge highlights. I know the technique. I just can't do it. There's some things you just can't do. I can do it. Like, I could do an edge here. I could edge highlight that, no problem, with the 45 degree with the brush. But when it comes to, like, an edge highlight, say, there, if I was trying to highlight, say, this, that's the wrong brush to use. Like this edge here, I could get the brush and do that, no problem. If I was trying to do an edge highlight on the inside of this panel, it'd be like... I just suck at it. I just suck right royally. Right, what we're going to do, it is coming up to 19 minutes past 4 here on BBC Radio 4. Almost time for the traffic news. I don't know what I'm doing with that. I'm going to put a wash on this, a shade on this first. I'm going to take a swig of coffee. And then when the shade is drying, we can do the other things. So I need to get some paper down. Get your paper down. Or do I? Do I need to do... yes. I'm going to do this now. I need a piece of foam. A small piece of foam. I need a grippy stick. Oh, grippy stick. Kaplunk. Yeah, near enough. It works near enough. So, what I want to do is... we're going to start off with a shade of... pointing in the wrong direction. I'm going to start off with a shade of Null Oil. Now remember, like I said, I wasn't careful with the... do I need to do that even? I can just put it on top of something. I could put it on top of... there's probably not got Tamiya pots lying around. Tamiya pots are the best thing to put things on top of until you've not got one lying around. There you go. That'll do. Right, so... yeah, we've just done a rusty colour first, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to cut some Null Oil on this, and then we'll go and do some unboxings and sticker giveaways and stuff. I've done the rusty colour. I want them to look like metal tracks that have corroded now, and it's kind of doing it the wrong way around. Normally you paint everything metal and then you put rust colours on it. I'm going the other way. I'm doing the rust colour first. I'm making it brown, and I'm going to get funky with it. This may not work. I'm doing this. I'm pulling this out of my ass, basically. I'm making this up as I go along, which is the best technique you can have. So we're going to start with Nuln Oil, our good friend, your good friend and mine, Nuln Oil. So I did get myself a shade brush. When I went to the Warhammer store and bought everything except the brush I was supposed to go and buy, I went to buy a large base brush, and I totally got lots of other brushes and not a shade brush because I'm a tit, basically. So I have a large shade brush. That will suffice. Where's my dad's device? Dad device. My dad's shade device. Made by your modern mine, Dad. Which is the best thing I've got. It's just, how cool is that? I love my dad's device. It's brilliant. And all we're going to do is, quite simply, I'm just going to shade these tracks. Jamie Bowen, have I missed anything? Nah. I'm just going to quickly shade these tracks with the Nuln Oil. Again, not being careful, not being delicate. I'm going to put some water on the brush, though, because it's stiff as anything. There we go. Not used the brush before, it was rock hard there. So we're going to get some shade on the brush and not be gentle with it. I'm just going to go straight in and cover these tracks with the shade. I'm going to make sure I get shade down the edge as well. Remember when I was painting that edge really quickly and not being careful with it? It's because I know I was going to be putting shade down there. So we'll just get this worked in. Down the edges first, then we'll go over the rest of the track. And apologies if this is a bit off camera. Right, there you are. Okay, you can see it. That's cool. And I find the best way to be with... It's different when you're doing figures. When you're doing figures, you've got to be careful and have some planning. When you're doing things like vehicles like this, and they're going to be dirty and worn, you can afford to just get stuck in. You don't need to be prissy and delicate and do all the thinking and that and all that and everything. You just don't need to do that at all. Just get stuff on there. If anything goes wrong, you can tidy it up later. It's the beauty of these things. So we'll do the top bit first, do this side as well. My neighbour's out doing the lawn again. The other neighbour. So we'll get that on there. So I would say, you know, if you're kind of figuring out brush painting and this kind of tactic where I'm just going in and getting messy with it, it doesn't necessarily come naturally. This whole thing of just, you know, like Ted says, slap it on, just slap the paint on. It comes with a bit of experience. Once you've got familiar with the paints and products that you're using, and once you know how they work and what you can expect from them, that's when you can start to use them to your advantage. So once you've figured out, for example, these shades, or if I was not using a shade, if I was using instead, for example, there's a clump on the brush there. Why has that brush got a clumpy thing on it? I'll figure that out later. If I was using, say, for example, an artist's ink thinned with Pledge, once you figure out how it works, how it flows, how it behaves, that's when you can start to use its strengths and weaknesses to best effect. So, like with anything, I always say, if you can, get yourself an old model or a cheap little Airfix model of some sort. Get yourself some crappy little model that you're never going to care about, and use it as a test pig. So if you've got yourself, say you're making this Chimera, and you want to brush paint it all, but you're not that experienced with armour, not a problem. Go and get yourself one of those crappy old Airfix tank kits or whatever's local to you, little sort of £5 or £10 crappy real old kits, and use that as a test pig. Then when you're happy, come and use those techniques on your big tank, on this or whatever you're making. Because I always try to make things look beaten and battered and weathered. I don't do clean. You all know that by now. I don't do clean and tidy. And in real life, weathering and dirt and dust is not predictable, or it's just random. mean, it's, to a certain degree, it has certain rules, but it is for a large portion of it just completely random. Got some paint there, but we'll cover that up later. Don't worry yourself. It's all gravy. So you see, I'm not being careful. I do say that a lot, but it's true. A lot of the methods I use, a lot of the time I take out to show you these things, is to show you that you don't have to be Japan level, spending a week painting each individual track link. There are global quick techniques you can use that will scruff up your model. So that's the first coat. I'm going to do more than one coat with the null oil. So what I shall do, I shall give that a rinse. Now, to speed things up, I'm just going to give it a quick blast with the head. So I'm going to turn the microphone off. You guys talk amongst yourself for a minute. I'll put a little... Hang on. Have I got a bit of paper? Have I got a bit of paper? I haven't got a bit of paper. Hang on. There you go. Just in case anybody joins and doesn't know what's going on, I shall turn the microphone off and I'll do a bit of hair drying. Back in a second. Et voila. Right, so that's that first coat done. Time for a second coat of the null oils. Then I'll have a quick look at chat and we'll catch up with chat. Somebody mentioned a beard. What his beard? Fox will return all bouffant and back-combed, says Zadster. And then Dad says, what, his beard? Hey, there's no bouffant in my beard. It's just naturally floofy. That's all I can say. Right, so then we'll do another coat of the null oils. And then I think that might be enough for those. Then we can do some other things. Do the rest of today's activities with the opening of packages and such things. So we'll get another coat of the null oils going on. And again, same as before, not being careful. Just getting it on. Have you noticed, by the way, any of you guys that watch Warhammer TV, I have noticed in the last few months, this, especially on like live hangout and paint streams, the sudden appearance of Duncan using a hairdryer, which we've never seen before, but all of a sudden it's become one of the tools they use in their streams. I'm finding this a good thing. It's nice to know that it is a tried and tested technique. I mean, it is, because I've read things with the heavy metal team before saying we use hairdryers. But it's nice to oops, bit of stuff on there. It's nice to see it from the Duncan himself. Now, I'm planning on 2 coats of null oil, but it may even be 3. We shall see what comes out. I'm going for a specific look, which I might not achieve, but I'm gonna try it, which is that kind of very dark colour with a hint of rust and some bare metal on the ridged surface, on the exposed ridged surfaces. But you do, because it's going to be played on the tabletop, I can't go all proper scale military modeler pigments and powders, because no matter how much, you know, but the intention, they just would not survive tabletop play very long. Even though you're not picking the thing up by the tracks, there's certain techniques that if you're making it for display, they'd be fine. If you're making it to play on the tabletop, no, you really want to try and keep things as tough as you can. See, I'm not being careful. I'm getting a bit of null oil on the side there. That's fine. I know what's to come. I know what paints I'm going to be putting on. There's going to be dirt and earth tones dry brushed on this and other things. So don't be too careful. Just have fun with it. Happy little accidents are always brilliant. All I can smell is curry downstairs. Is it 6 o'clock yet? Can I go and have my curry yet? Yeah. So I'll get this coat on. But that's one of the things I love about this Warhammer stuff is, you know, you can approach it two ways. You can build it as I have, just for the fun of building the models, and you can make some beautiful museum quality pieces, which look fantastic, and they're just a nice variation. There are snobby types out there who say, well, you know, I'm building this, and then they might wave at their, you know, Trumpeter 135th Panzer IV with all its realistic details and say that's proper grown up, not this nonsense that I'm doing. But you know what? Those kind of people annoy me, because to me, model making is not about how accurate somebody's model is, or whether it's a grown-up model or it's a serious modeller's thing, or whether it's a children's toy type thing. It doesn't matter to me. That's not something is a part of the conversation. All that matters to me is that whatever you're making, you have fun and you enjoy the process and you just have fun with it. That's all that matters. If you like making super realistic World War II vehicles, then, you know, power to you. Do it. If that's what you enjoy, then do it. But if your thing is, say, Warhammer, then power to you. Do it. There's no difference to me between a nicely built and painted Warhammer vehicle and a nicely built and painted World War II vehicle. And that's the beauty of Warhammer. You can just build and paint them because it's fun. And you can, you know, you could do a proper professional job on them and make them look fantastic. Or you can just build them in a quick and painty way, or build them and paint them in a quick painterly way to play them on the tabletop. There you go. I've got shade all over my lovely, lovely new cutting box. I'm going to have to do some remedial cleaning up work afterwards. Right, so let's just clean up the shade off my desk later on before I get angry about it. So I'm going to put that to one side to dry. Let's put it over here, because next we have to do some stickery giveaways and some unboxificatings to keep Paul happy before he goes into a sulk mode, because he will just go off and sulk. Because he can be a right grumpy sulk sometimes. I know him. So I'm just going to get rid of these bits of tissue. Clean that up. We'll get this paper to one side. I shall put that there. Remove this. We'll go back to the painting in a bit. I'm just going to get this done first. First thing I'm going to do is get some isopropyl alcohol and a bit of tissue and get the null oil off my desk. Here's a handy tip for you. If you're going to clean stuff off your desk, just use isopropyl alcohol. Don't use airbrush cleaner, because that will take the pattern off your desk straight away. Yeah, trust me, I know this. So I'm just going to quickly do this. Just make sure it doesn't take the... There we go. I'm just getting the null oil off. There we go, perfect. No problem at all. Bit. My lines are still on the desk. Yes. Grab my package, says Paul. Whip the package out. Fox admits to playing with his models. Film at 11, says Sergeant Bones. Hey, there isn't a man alive or woman alive who hasn't made a Spitfire or an X-Wing. I made X-Wing noises. I will happily admit, when I made my Space 1999 Eagle Transporter, I sat there making Eagle Transporter noises quite often. Yeah, because it's part of the fun. Part of the fun. Right, that's that bit cleaned off. I don't have to worry about it now. So, let's do some things. Now, first thing that I'm going to do is some giveaways. I mean, some of the unboxings. I'll have a quick look at the chat very quickly. I've got Team Inept. Not quite sure what's going on there. I've got Team Inept talking to Team Inept. It's weird. I think is that Chris and Paul both signed in as Team Inept? Oh, that's going to get confusing. I don't like Cariso, it's alright, says Jamie Bone. Festa67 Workshop says, thanks to those who've subbed today, so close to the magic 600. Yep, like I said, all the mods. You can click on the names, go to the channels and subscribe. Subscribe to everybody. Right, let's have a look. Open the box, the normal is drying. Fox will return, but we've done that one. Pompadour. Elite Dangerous Players, it's the Cobra 3, a good second ship for a relative beginner. Cobra 2 is good. Cobra 3 is... okay. There's one Cobra that's not very good, and that might be the Cobra 4. I think the Cobra 2 is good. The Cobra 3 might be not good. Or the Cobra 4 might be not good. If there's 4 of them, I think the 4 is rubbish compared to the 3. Fox cannot blow dry his beard, Dad. All the biscuit crumbs would fly out, says Dave. Yeah. I prefer the Viper 4, but Chris and 4 Orcs both like the Cobra more. Yeah, I can't remember if I had the Cobra Mark... I think I had the Cobra Mark 2 was the good one, and the Cobra Mark 3 is the not good one. Anyway, I think I'm being told to do the package now. Right, so, yes, we have packages. So what I'm going to do... this is the one from Paul, but I'm going to open this one first. Now, you remember earlier in the week, I had a big cup of coffee. I made some new friends at Hachette Park Works. And a guy called Rick, who's the head of marketing and managing a PR. And he sent me those 2 copies of the Bismarck and the Terminator thing to have a look at and play with. However, what he also told me was, and this is what I'm assuming this is, he told me where he used to work before he worked for Hachette. And he told me that he'd get them to send me some goodness. So let's have a look. I think I know what this is. I could just open it. I don't need the knife. So this should be, I think I know what this is, but I'll just check before I open the gob. Yes. He told me that he used to work for Titan Comics. And I didn't know, but that, believe it or not, Titan Comics actually did a load of Warhammer comics. So we've got Deathwatch, Warhammer 40k Deathwatch. We've got Blood Bowl, more guts, more glory. We've got Warhammer 40k Revelations. And we have Warhammer 40,000 Fallen. Let's have a quick look at these. So these are from Titan Comics. They're all graphic novels, and wow, they look really, really nice, actually. I didn't know Titan did a load of 40k. They've got loads of them. 40k graphic novels. They look rather spectacular. Gotta tell you, that's some quality drawings right there. Some quality colourings. Ooh, that's nice. I wasn't sure what to expect, but these actually look really, really nice. This one does anyway. Good old Emps. Oh, they've got those other bits. This is outstanding artwork. So that's 4. Let's have a look at the other ones. We've got Revelations. So yeah, if you're interested in these, go and check out Titan Comics. They've got quite a lot of them. I didn't even know. But thanks to Ricky for reaching out to Titan and getting them to send me these. It's really kind of you, dude. Used to work for them. Used to work at Titan. Now he works for Hachette. Doing some good things at Hachette. That's really gorgeous artwork. I'm going to enjoy reading these. JS Idaho is in. Welcome, JS. I signed up for that Terminator, says Quanaman. Cool. I'm not going to be doing it myself. But Chris at Gross Models, I don't know if he's going to be doing it, but he did have a go at polishing the metal part. I've got the metal part, the skull part. He's had a go at polishing the metal part with sandpaper and some polishing sticks. So it looks like if you subscribe to it, you could actually polish them up quite nicely to look nice and shiny. That looks really nice. And last of all, we have Deathwatch. Ooh, more of the same. Wow. I need to draw some Space Marines, don't I? Space Wolves, Space Puppy, yes. I'm going to like this one. If he's got Space Puppies in this one, I'm a sucker for Space Wolves. Yeah. Awesome. So thank you very much to Ricky from Hachette who arranged for Titan to send me these. They smell really nice. They smell like new books. Thank you very much for that, Ricky. I shall enjoy reading those. I'll put this to one side. I don't know. I'll either read them or I might add them to the Wheel of Giveaways prizes. I don't know yet. I might just have to read them. Right. Chris at Gross Model says, tried polishing it with a Dremel, didn't get any better really. It looked quite a bit more shiny. Yes, draw me a Warhamster, says Gross Models. Yes. The Terminator will be bigger than Chris, says Jamie Bone. Right. I don't know what this is. This is from Paul. Paul very recently, Paul from Team Inept, Glued to the Sprue, very recently went to the US of A, to the America lands, and got me something. Foxx Wolf, Treasurer, Hammond Organ Owner Society. You know the real irony? We used to have a Hammond organ in this house. My dad used to have a Hammond organ. So there has been a Hammond organ in this actual house. It's better than Jar Jar Binks, that's all I can say. My postman gives me some very strange looks. Every time Paul or Chris send me something, it's got a big picture on the side saying President of the Jar Jar Binks fan club and things like that. And I'm like, oh. I get some very sideways looks from my postmans. Is it a widge? Says Jamie Bone. Adam Clark says it's from Paul. It's got to be a Jar Jar. David Walker. New here. How much coffee does that mug hold? I can tell you exactly how much coffee this mug holds. It holds a litre because I emptied an entire litre flask of coffee into this once and it fit perfectly. So it holds a litre of coffee or tea, depending on your preference. And welcome, by the way. Welcome, David Walker. For anybody who's joined us who hasn't watched one of these before, welcome, welcome, welcome. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is just a little break in the middle between me doing my paintings. I'm working on my Imperial Guard Chimera at the moment. Don't forget, if you want to give me something to talk about in the chat, you can do. That's where I get all my things to talk about. Do join in the chat. If you want to be in the chance to win 200 to 300 quid worth of Warhammer stuff, then make sure to use the super chat function in the text chat with the little dollar symbol at the bottom, or to use the tip jar, which is streamlabs.com/modelmakingguru. All the funds raised through Streamlab, through the tip jar and super chat, go into a pot, and the pot is to fund a prize for getting Aviad Madar, who's the current stream boss, down to 0 health. Every time you put a tip through or do a super chat, Aviad's health decreases slightly, and whoever gets him to 0 wins all the money that's been raised through the tip jar and the super chats. So at the moment, when Aviad became the stream boss, he won about 280 quid worth of stuff. Basically, whatever the budget is, I'll tell you how much the budget is, you then say, this is what I want you to buy me from the Games Workshop. So it's either Forge World or Games Workshop. So get your super chats and things going from. Right, we've got a note. This is going to make me nervous. He said I wouldn't want curry when I've eaten this. Yeah, let's have a look. Oh, I can make things look. Yes. 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 There. If you lick these things, they stick together because they're made of like corn or something. Yes, I made a. Put it there. What is this? We have. Oh, ooh, oh, 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 hang on. We have. Oh, that's a Big Mama pickled sausage. Big Mama pickled sausage, made with chicken and pork, artificially coloured, pickled in artificially coloured vinegar pickle. Okay. There's too many comments to be had. Slim Jims, I love Slim Jims. Beef and cheese. Beef stick, pasteurised processed cheddar cheese stick. So which do I do first? Do I do the sausage? Or do I do the cheese? Oh. Eat them, says Gross Models. I know, I lick them before I put them into the package. Ew. Oh, we made a white snake. Hee hee hee. Dog poo, you work nights, says Gross Models. Those pickle sausages are vicious. It's going to be the pickle sausage second then, isn't it? Right. Well, you may have learned from my last time I got some Slim Jims that I can't open Slim Jims at all. I've not figured out how you're supposed to open these things properly. Oh, I've just figured it out. Hey! I think my stomach just made little happy noises. Now, I used to work in the civil service, where we used to have like processed cheese slices in the machine available for snacks. So this is going to be no shock to me. I'm going to do them at the same time. Ready? So we're going to be Slim Jim, which I love, and a strip of cheese, which I've no idea about. So, ready? Smells good. Going in. Mmm. Oh. Oh, the cheese is nice. Mm. Team Inept says the cheese is bloody awful. Well, I don't know about the yellow cheese, but the orange cheese is quite nice. But again, I used to work in the civil service. This was kind of one of the options in the food machine. It was this or crackers. That was about it. That was most pleasant. I'll leave that to one side for a moment. It's real American artificial cheese, says David Walker. What is wrong with your taste buds, says Team Inept. It's cheese. I'll eat anything, me. There's very few things I don't like to eat. Also, amusingly, when I was talking about not being able to open the Slim Jims, Jeff Longwood says you literally have a table covered with knives. I do. He's like, you literally have a table covered with knives. This has got some kind of juiciness going on. I don't want to make a big liquidy mess, so I'm going to be careful with this one. Even we Americans call it cheese byproduct. Yeah, you know what? The one time that I've only been on a plane in my life twice, you know, going across the Atlantic plane to a foreign country where they serve you food. And both times I was with my friends, and none of them could face the airline food. So they just gave me all the food. I'm the kind of person that at school, so, you know, on these flights, I had like 6 airline meals and loved it. I'm the kind of person that at school, I loved school meals and school cabbage. Oh, hello. So, yeah, I've got a really bizarre appetite for food. Okay, this smells interesting. Oh, it smells a little bit felt tippy. Spill the juice, says Team Inept. Ew, says Chris at Gross Models. Do it, do it, do it. Don't do it, says David Walker. Right, I'm gonna take a bite of this. There's no way this doesn't look in any way rude. Look at that. Ew. Ready? Let's see what this one does. Okay. Okay. Aha. Aha. Okay. It's like pickled egg with a hint of chili. And some felt tips ground up and put in. It's not that bad. Pretty sure you should cook it. Don't know, should you? No. Doesn't say to cook it anywhere. Whatever. It's got questions or comments and ingredients. It doesn't say to cook it anywhere. That's alright, I quite like that. A little bit of a chili kick to it. Oh. Although, after a few mouthfuls, you like when you... Oh. Okay, you know when you eat something with vinegar and you put too much vinegar on your first mouthful, your mouth kind of explodes? and then you get used to it. Have to say, the vinegar's getting worse as time goes by. Wow, wow, wow. The sausage looked rank. Sorry, says Mark Burgess. It kind of is, but it's not so rank that I can't eat it. Most pleasant. I mean, in an offensive kind of cheap and tacky way, it's not too bad. I wouldn't make a habit of eating them. It's a bit like a pickled egg. A pickled egg's nice, and then you try and have a second one, and then if you have a second one, you kind of don't want a third one, and if you try and have a third one, you really don't want a fourth one. So, yeah, that's all right. I'll finish it off. I'm going to throw this away. I'll be back in a second. That wasn't too bad. Wasn't too unpleasant. I've got a bit of burning going on. I think that's more the chilli in the sausage than the vinegar. The vinegar's kind of rank. I think it would be nice if it wasn't pickled. Ooh. Oh. But it's not too bad. Not too bad. Well, Paul, thank you very much for my Slim Jims. I'm sorry that you're disappointed that I like the cheese. Sorry, soz. But it's quite nice, actually. Now, the other one has a lighter cheese, but I'll eat that later. Now, I need to go and wash my hands in a minute before we do any more painting. But before we do that, let's do some giveaways, some sticker giveaways. Have a quick look at the chat. Well, that backfired, says David Butch, that model. He liked the cheese. Yes. I got it from the ready-to-eat snacks bit in the petrol station. Let's have a look. Cheese and damn sandwich, says Snowman HFC. Ooh, yeah. Don't forget to drink the juice at the end, says Paul at Team Annette. Yeah, I passed on that particular aspect of the ritual. Gone to yak it up, says Mark Burgess. No. There's nothing I ever eat that makes me feel sick. Unless food is actually, off. Unless it's gone off. And therefore I throw up because I'm sick. I don't think there's anything I've ever eaten that's made me want to hurl. I'll eat anything. I'll eat anything, me. Made his nose run, says Dad. That big fat sausage did have a bit of a chilli kick to it, I've got to admit. I'm off for live stuff. Only a test stream for me tonight, remember? What? Confused. Not sent a question as you keep sending me bloody stickers, says Dave. Well, you could just say don't send me a sticker in the email. Right. Yes, I've got the sniffly nose now. Okay, so let's do some stickery giveaways before we crack on with the painting. If you want to, it's a bit late now, but I'll have a look in a minute, see if we've got any. But if you want to send me a question and an answer to the question, and include your name and address, and I use that question and answer, then I will send you a sticker. But if you want to send me the question and answer, it is fox@modelmakingguru.com is the email address. Pop a question and answer through. Dave, if you don't include your name and address, I won't send you a sticker. If you don't want a sticker, just say I don't want a sticker. We have 3 more stickers to give away today. We have a Frankie Goes to Hobbywood sticker, a new one for you. We have a Scaly Models, a new Scaly Model sticker, which is a new design. And, of course, one of my stickers. And we're going to write some words on the back. As always, mine's got back in a second written on it, so that one's done. Let's see. For this one, we shall write sausage. And for this one, we shall write cheese. Cheese. So there you go. So we've got Model Making Guru, a Frankie Goes to Hobbywood. That's a very nice sticker, actually, that one. And a Scaly Model sticker. And I have to say, Frankie, by the way, your stickers stick to stuff better than mine does. Yeah, yours has got more adhesive goodness on it. So, yes, we shall do this. So I'll just have a quick look at the emails and see Oh, Chris at Grace Model says, I'm going. Have a good afternoon. My stream later is just a test to make sure it works. No proper hamster. Okay, all right, Chris. Well, thanks for coming in, dude. Take care, matey. So it looks like Chris isn't doing a proper live stream tonight. I think he's still poorly sick. He's got the lurgy. He's being a complete sort of girly with his germ. Right. I've had them before. Just wait till it filters through, says David Walker. Yeah, nothing has an effect on me. So, okay. Let's have a look. I have a picture sent to me from Alex Geis. Oh, remember Alex said he was watching, but he's working on an oil rig. He sent me a photo. I can't show you, but he sent me a photo. I can show you, I suppose. He sent me a photograph of the oil rig upon which he's working. Cool. Nice, big, massive derrick, that. And he sent a question as well. So there you go. So we'll do that one first. I can guarantee you that he's given me the correct answer because it's about him. So here we go. First question. Alex, obviously you can't answer this because you can't answer your own question. Right. Alex is working on oil rigs, and he says, here's a question. Oh, before we do anything, there's usually, as always, there's usually a lag between the video and the audio and the chat by this point. So before we do anything, make sure to refresh your browser and drag the slider across. So refresh and drag the video slider across. Do that now. Do it now. Refresh first, and then drag. Refresh and drag. I'll give you a second. I'll have a swig of coffee while you're doing that. Now, the question, and I don't know if this is because he works on oil rigs or just because of some other reason, but he asks, how many fingers do I have left? Go. How many fingers does Alex have left? No explanation given, of course. There's a good man of mystery here. But how many fingers does he have left? And the correct answer is, from George, 8. He says 8 and 2 thumbs. So he's got normal amounts of fingers and thumbs. This is quite a funny way of putting it. How many fingers has he got left? All the ones he started out with. So he's got 8 fingers and 2 thumbs. So yes, George Gabriel, well done. I know I've got mails from you anyway, but if you win a sticker tonight, all you need to do is send me an email with your name and your address and tell me which sticker you won. George, I need you to tell me which sticker you would like, please. We shall all sit here and look at you until you decide. And we'll say nothing. We'll just sit here quietly and wait. Give me the red one. You've got... Do you want to be a bit more specific, George? Everybody just sit and stare at George now, please. Anytime you want, George. Which one do you want? Scale it. There you go. Right, George. Nice, thank you. So yes, if you do win a sticker, all you need to do is send me an email to fox@modelmakingguru.com. The address is there. And just say which sticker you won. Now, if you, as I've said this before, all the UK ones I think from the last few weeks have gone out. I'm still got a pile of the non-UK ones to send out because I haven't had a chance to get to the post office yet. I've only just got my car working again. So they'll all go out in one go. If you are waiting on some stickers and you've mailed me before because you've won stickers before, mail me again. Like I always say, if you send me, if I've got 3 emails from you in my inbox saying you've won a sticker at different times, I'll send you the 3 stickers. I know then you've got to send you 3 different stickers. So even if you're waiting on stickers to come and you've already mailed me, send me an email, your name and address, and which sticker you won. So thank you, George. That's yours. Next up, it said I sent too many, says George Gabriel. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I think you can only send so many messages in a certain time. Actually, you know, you put like 18 answers in as well, which didn't actually do you any harm. That's probably why you got told off. Right, so let's have a look at the next question. So that was that one. Alex, well done. Thank you for that. If you want me to send you a sticker, Alex, just send me a mail with your name, because if I use your question, I'll send you a sticker. Send me an email with your name and address, if you like. And say just to send you a sticker. Next one we have... Okay, we have some questions from Jeremy Shrink. Again. I have a lot of stickers to send you. Okay, we have a question from Jeremy. He says, let's see, which one should we do? I've got two. Okay, this is a good one. Right, everybody ready? I've got to hope I can pronounce this. What do the letters KV stand for in regards to the KV series of Soviet heavy tanks? Go. What do KV, like the KV2, what does the KV stand for? I'm not too bothered about the spelling as long as it onomatopoeically reads like the right answer, because the spelling's a bit weird. Jamie Bone is pretty much straight in there with Clementi Viroshilov, which is close enough. Clementi Viroshilov is correct. Cripes Victor, says Osric. Kermit Vehicle, says Jeff. Kinevi, says Redlen. Kalashnikov, says George. So Clementi Viroshilov. Jamie Bone, well done. You've won yourself a sticker. Which sticker would you like? Would you like sausage or back in a second? Let me know which one you would like. Yay, what a guess, and no, I didn't use Google. That's alright. You were too fast. Even I could see you didn't use Google for that, because it was too fast. You like the sausage. So you want your Frankie Goes to Hollywood sticker, well done. So I shall write your name on there. Jamie Byrne. Right, well done, Jamie. So all you need to do, like I said, send me an email. Foxx at emodels. No, that's the wrong one. Not emodels. Foxx at modelmakingguru.com. Wow, that's force a habit. Ted, emodels. No. Foxx at modelmakingguru.com. Just say you've name and address and you've won the Frankie Goes to Hobbywood sticker. And I will get that sent off to you. Thank you. Oh, yeah, it's really hard to not give out the emodels email address sometimes. Yeah, so we've got one left. Butcher That Model says, I had to sit on my hands. I know that one. Yeah, Dave. Apparently Dave gets in trouble from She Who Must Be Obeyed because he keeps getting stickers. So Spect says, well, I still can't hear what you're all saying, so I wish you all the best and hope you win something good. What, can you not hear us, Spect? Are you having a problem with your speakers or something? Alex Guy says, no one wanted the Fox sticker. Everybody's got one of these already, so this will be the last one to go. Everybody's got like about 5 of these. Let's have a look. Partner just started. Oh, I see. Partner just started hoovering. I am flying blind. Oh. Let's have a look. I want one, says Wayne last. Right, let's have one more, because we've got this one to go. Okay, question from Dave at Butcher That Model, who says in the title, no bloody sticker. I will not send you a sticker, Dave. So, very quick question. It's a Warhammer question, for once. Everybody ready? That's a mail from Jamie, thank you very much. Okay, so here's the question. Who is... Okay, I don't know. I'm just going to go off whatever Dave's put. He says... Who is the Emperor's Child in Warhammer 40k? Go. Sally James says, Dad. Dave, you can't answer. He's given me a name for an individual. Again, I don't check if it's correct or not. I'm doubtful, but I'm sure somebody will get it. Everybody's thinking now. David Dickinson. Scott Sutherland is in with Fulgrim. That's what Dave's told me. Fulgrim. I will accept that. So Scott, well done. Another Model Making Guru sticker coming to you. Got loads of them. So I shall spell your name wrong deliberately there. I've put Sut. C looks like an O. There we go. Scott S. There. I'll write it again so I can read it. So well done, Scott. Yes, Fulgrim was the right answer, apparently. Bot me an email, Fox, Foxx Model Making Guru, with your name and address. I think I've already got one for you anyway, but send it again. Just send it again. So well done, everybody who got a sticker. Jolly good fun was had by all. Everybody's still answering it. And now I missed the question, Stefan Lass says. Oh, Bubbles the monkey, says Team Inept. Right, well done to everybody who won one. A little bit of silly fun there for you. Right, where's my painting mat gone? Yes, that sausage was quite nice. Although it was offensive. I wouldn't say it was orgasmically nice. It was mildly offensive. But then again, I've eaten worse. I've put worse things in my mouth. I'll rephrase that. I need to give this a little bit of hair dryer, but I'm going to get a little bit, so I'm just going to turn the microphone off. I'll just quickly do it now. La 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 la. La, 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 la. There we go. And I'm going to give it... shall I give it another coat? I don't know. I might give it one more coat of null oil. I shall bring back the newspaper of newspapers. Tactical purposes. Someday I'll just draw my own guru sticker, said Jeff Longman. Hairdryer, I know a song that will get on your... Yes. You've not won a sticker yet, Jeff. This is a bad state of affairs. Have you managed to not win a sticker yet? Have I managed to lose my null oil? Where did I put the... there it is. There is my dead device. My dead device is there. I'm going to give it another coat of the Nullings. Nulling oils. Yes, it was weird last Sunday not doing a show. It was kind of weird. It was most strange. Not doing an actual show. I'm kind of built around doing a show on a Sunday now. So not doing one was just kind of weird and disturbing in a strange kind of way. I was all at 6s and 7s, but then again I was spending time with the family, which was good, so that's alright. There was Xbox time and fish and chips and family goodness going on, which is always fun. So again, we're just giving this a quick coat of null oil. For those that don't know, I'm painting the tracks, and we started off with a coat of... They were painted in the same colour as green as the rest of the tank initially. But to get this used, worn, rusty track look, I started off with a coat of XV88 paint as the sort of base reddy brown colour. I'll try and do it so you can actually see it, which would be nice. As the base reddy brown colour, coat of XV88, which is also a nice base colour to use for leathers if you're using dark shades like this. And then this is a third coat of Nuln Oil shade to darken it all up. And I'm not being too careful or delicate, I'm just slapping it on. As Ted would say, slap it on! Were he here? When I painted on the XV88, I was being fairly careless. I didn't do a neat job, and I left some patches and gaps here and there where it was primed black and painted with the green, so there were some little patches where there were still little tiny touches of the green or black showing through, which is nice. Just gave it a little bit of extra depth, just in case you missed that at the start. And if you didn't watch the previous episodes, if you're wondering how I got the green to look like it does, it's all dry brushing. I can't remember the colours off the top of my head. I think I started out with Castellan green, then there was a shade of Nuln Oil all over, and then a dry brush of Castellan green, and then two other lighter colours, getting lighter each time, and they were dry brushed over the top of that. Just focusing on each time on raised areas and centres of panels and things like that to make up the high spots, the highlight areas. Okay, so that's that bit done. So we put that on there for a second. Diddly-lee. Let's have a quick look at chat while that's drying. It's rare I can join the stream, says Jeff. That's true, because you don't often get a chance to join. Nom nom. Yeah. If you were to accidentally send me an email, Jeff, which accidentally contained your name and address, and a request for a sticker, then there's always the slim chance that I might accidentally just happen to put a sticker in an envelope and send it off to you by accident. Just saying, you know. I know you don't get to join the stream very often. Slap it on, stab it emotions. There's that thing. I can't do it because you can't say it, but like, slap it on. Well, I'm out. Time to dig out from the blizzard. Have a good one, everyone, says Wayne Larson. Thanks for coming in, Wayne. Take care of yourself, dude. You got a blizzard there. We've got a nice balmy day outside. It's actually pleasant out there. I've got to say, the last couple of days, I went to the shop yesterday. I went round to the shop around the corner, walked outside. It's the public, I know. And I walked outside, and it's the 3rd of February, and it was like a balmy... Yesterday, it was like a cold summer's day, and by that I mean it was warm and pleasant, and you know, like a hot summer's day is hot, but a cold summer's day is actually probably still quite warm and balmy compared to, say, February. It's February. It should be -3 and we should be snowy. It was balmy and warm and nice yesterday. It was most pleasant. It was weird. It's very weird. And then when I was having a wash yesterday morning, I was in the bathroom doing my morning ablutions, and there was something crawling up the wall, and I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't see. So I finished my, morning ablutions, put my glasses on, and it was a ladybird walking up the bathroom wall. So I had to rescue it and put it outside. I'm like, dude, it's February. What are you doing? What are you doing walking up my bathroom wall in the middle of February? Oh, I don't know. Everything's messed up, man. Global warming. Oh, climate change. It's February and it's warm. I've got no socks on. I've got my window open. Well, I opened it earlier on after they finished doing the lawn, but it's February and I've got no socks on. The heating's turned off. The windows are open. And it's still daylight outside a little bit. It's all gone weird. It's all gone weird. Snowman HFC, it's been fun. I'm off to play Xbox with my nephew. Bye all. Thanks for coming in, Snowman. Hopefully see you next time. Remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your Xbox times. I'll be playing some Halo, I think, later on tonight. I think I'll do some Halo times. The weather's lovely, says Adster. 12 degrees C, sunny, although misty. Yeah, birds tweeting at 2 AM. Not only am I hearing blackbirds, which shouldn't be here yet until like April. Go outside and you hear blackbirds. I love blackbird song. The other morning, remember, I think last week when we did the Saturday show, like last week, I was saying how I've been really ill, and I was up at 2 in the morning, scrunched on the sofa trying to, recover, because I couldn't sleep. I was very ill. I was sat downstairs. It was about half two in the morning, and I was downstairs on the sofa trying to recover because I was very poorly, and all I could hear was a dove outside going boop 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 boop, and I was like, dude, it's 2:30 it's 2 in the morning, what the hell are you doing? And in a way it was nice because it distracted me from the pain I was in, because I wasn't very well. It distracted me from not being well and helped me get over my not wellness faster, because I was like what were you doing at 2 in the morning? What? Oh, it's weird. So I think it might just be a really dumb dove. It's like, oh, it's 2 in the morning, I must sing la 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 la. No, it's 2 in the morning, go back to sleep. Spoon. Zasta says, yep, loud blackbirds, it feels like early April. There's nothing I love more, and I've said this before, there's nothing I love more than you wake up on a summer's morning. You wake up at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the summer, or maybe even 7, because it goes down, it's light really early. And I've got kind of fairly translucent, not translucent, but the light shines through my curtains. They're not thick, opaque curtains. They're kind of thin, so the light comes through. So I can wake up when it's sunny in my room. And if I've had the window open overnight, I wake up and all I can see is the sun coming through the window, which is really nice, and it's nice and warm. And you can hear the blackbirds in the trees in the garden. It's like, oh, and you can hear like one in the tree in our garden singing quite loud, and then one halfway across the avenue singing, and it's kind of distant, and it's like, oh, it's such a nice sound. Love the blackbirds. Right, I'm a gnu. How do you do? I'm going to hairdryer this track, so I'm going to turn the microphone off for a second. Let me get that. I'll turn the microphone off for a second. Back in a second. There we go, all dried. Oh, lovely. Now, yeah, sounds amazing early morning, says Dad. Yeah, blackbirds are fantastic. I love the sound of blackbirds. But it shouldn't be here in February. It should be here in April. But never mind. Now, next step. More shades. So we've got this brown effect. Now, these are supposed to be, remember, they're going to be rusty, dirty tracks. So I'm going to try and enhance this effect even more. I'm going to try something that may not work, but the beauty of it is, if it doesn't work, I can just repaint over these, because the tracks, doesn't matter if they look a bit, you know, scruffy or whatever. I'm going to try some Fuegan orange shade and maybe a tiny amount of Cassandora yellow. I don't know if this is going to work, so I'm going to try some Fuegan orange first. But what I might do, I want to thin it down at all. Yeah, I think what I want to do is get my little palette pad. Do I want to do this and use up a whole mess of my Lamy? Yeah, go on. So I've got some Lamy medium and some Fuegan orange. Now the reason I'm going to use my Lamy medium is I don't want to use the Fuegan orange straight from the pot, because it's going to be a bit too... Or do I? Let me test it. Let me test it. Let's see what this thing looks like when you try and paint it on. Let's have a quick test on a bit we're not going to see. Do. Oh, that'll be alright, actually. You know what? That'll be absolutely fine. So, put the pad away. We don't need that. I was just... If ever you want to use a shade, but you don't want the shade, you think the shade's a bit bold, a bit too OTT, you can thin the shade with Lamy and medium. Don't thin it with water, because it doesn't really work. If you thin a shade with Lamy and medium, it can, then it doesn't thin it, it dilutes it, and it means it flows into recesses better. So if I wanted to, say, get some rust effects like in some of the recesses, I might thin this with some Lamy and medium and then brush it over, so it seeps into the recess but doesn't colour a lot of the surface. Whereas if I just do it neat, it's going to colour the surface, as you shall see in a moment. So yeah, if you do need to thin a shade, thin it with Lamy and medium, not with water. Water makes it dry. Water breaks down the acrylic binders in the shade, and it stops it behaving the way it's supposed to. Its surface tension is changed. It won't go into recesses the same. So try and stick to using Lamy medium or any glaze medium. You know, Vallejo do a glaze medium, or even just Pledge. It'll come out glossy, it doesn't really matter. Right, where are we? Let's get some of this done. So, go in with the shade brush. Fuegan orange. And we're just going to go over the tracks. Now, this may not work. I'm kind of counting on it not looking too blatantly like it's just been painted orange. But it may not work, but we'll find out, because there is other stuff to go on here. I just want to take it away from looking like leather and looking more like slightly oxidized metal. So an orange shade might help do that. It might ruin it completely, I don't know yet. Maybe we should have done this before we did the null oil. It's all a learning experience. You're learning along with me. So we'll get that in there. But we can always go back and put more null oil on if we need to. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe, yeah, I should have thinned it a bit. It's fine. It's too late now anyway. Maybe I could have thinned it a little bit. It's a very nice colour. But it just takes it from looking like dark leather to more like rusty metal. A little bit. It's not quite got the metal look yet because we've not done anything metallic on it. And I don't know what this looks like on camera. It might look nothing at all on camera. It might not come out at all. And when it does dry, of course, like any shade, when it dries, it's going to dry darker and it won't be quite as bright as it looks now to me, to my eyes. So it looks like I'm kind of spreading undiluted fizzy orange drink on it. But of course it will go dark. It'll go matte and dark. Just looks shiny right now. We'll see how this comes out. We can always add more shade if we need to. Again, like with the null oil, I'm not being careful or delicate. I'm just getting it on there. Am I being tactical in my application? No. I'm not making sure it's everywhere. I'm just making sure it's on in various places. Might not be evenly laid out or on the surface evenly, but that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter a jot. I care not a jot. Seems a little thicker than the normal, I'll tell you that. Okay, so that's the Fuegan orange. I'll leave that to dry for a bit. I don't want to go too far with this because only so many shades you can put on something before it starts looking like it's made out of pillows and goes a bit lumpy. So that might be the last shade we put on there. So we'll see how that comes out. So what I shall do, I'll have a quick look at the chattings. Let's have a look. Pledge Clear seems to work quite well. I'm pondering getting some inks to make my own glaze, glue, whatever, says Adster. Yeah, it's actually an old modeller's trick is to mix in artist's inks with Pledge Clear, Future, whatever you want to call it. That's what's called a magic wash. Before you had Games Workshop shades or anything like that, that's what figure painters used to do. They used to use a lot of inks mixed in with something to thin it down. And you would either use an acrylic medium, because think of it, like an acrylic medium, like Lamian Medium or Vallejo do theirs. Acrylic medium is just paint without any pigment. This is just shade with no pigment. It's just clear shade. So when you take a shade and you thin it down with Lamian Medium, you're just adding the amount of this, because this is basically this with pigment in it. When you add this to this, you're basically adding more of the clear, but you're not increasing the amount of pigment. So you're diluting the pigment. You're not thinning it, you're diluting it. If you just add water, then you're breaking down the acrylic binders in there that help it have a certain, a consistency that help how the acrylic works. You're breaking those down. You're dissolving them. Water is a solvent. So although you may add water to a water-based paint to break it down, if you're using it on a shade, ideally you want to use a medium because it's just adding more of what the paint's already made of, but without increasing the amount of pigment. You're increasing the amount of medium to the amount of pigment or colour. So, I say you can get lots of different ones. Lamy Medium, Vallejo do there are Art Store, glaze mediums, or Pledge. Pledge is basically an acrylic medium that also dries to a varnish, so you can use Pledge. It will just dry glossy, that's all. Right, so I'm going to give this a quick blast with the hairdryer. Oh, Jeff says, Dad duty calls, enjoy the remainder of your weekend all. Thanks for coming in, Jeff, I really appreciate it. Do take care. Like I say, if you accidentally mail me with your name and address, oh, you have done. There you go. Brilliant. Well, take care of yourself, dude. And right, I'll go and hairdryer this, and then I'm back in a second. I shall put the back in a moment sticker back. Where's it gone? I shall back in a moment. Oh, this button don't work, And there we go, that's that bit done. So, hopefully, and I say, well, might not come out on camera, but hopefully you can, I'll zoom in a bit so you can see it. That might be a good idea, mightn't it? Zooming now, so zoom, zoom. So hopefully you can see. It's not great because I've zoomed in so the picture quality drops, but it's not now looking like leather so much. It's looking a bit more like rusty something. It still doesn't look quite right because we're nowhere near finished yet, but it's got a bit more of a corroded look to it. But I'm going to not do any more on the tracks at that point, because what we need to do now is, what we would do next normally is start to do some dry brushing and metallics. However, we're going to have lots of dirt and dust to put on them before we do that. Oh, Paul D. Tomas is off. I'm off to have lunch and do other things. See you tomorrow, guys. Thanks for coming in, Paul. Much appreciate it. Take care, dude. Enjoy your lunch. Lunch. Yes, there are other things we need to do, like dry brushing metallics. We've got loads of dust and dirt to add, but we've got to do that to everything else anyway. So there's no point doing that now on the tracks and then having to come back and do it again on the rest of the tank. So we may as well just leave those tracks there for now, and then when we start doing weathering on the tank, on the hull, we can do the weathering at the same time on the tracks, and it'll all be uniform and make sense. So we're going to leave that there. So it's just got more of a, it's very dark actually. Let me just see if I can, you're looking at the picture and it's quite dark. Hang on. I'm trying to match what you can see to reality, really. Yeah, it's got more of a, I say it doesn't look like metal yet because we've not done anything metallic to it, but it's got more of a, it's not just brown or leather look to it. So hopefully that comes across. So that's that bit done. Next up, what's next? What time are we on? 5:30. Next up, I should really start doing some of the metals, because there's not going to be a lot of different things on this kit. We've obviously got the dude. We've got some parts we want to do metallics, like the big heavy stubber. We've got some metallics for the antenna. The guns here. I'm trying to think what else will be metallics. These handles maybe. We've got golds for the Aquila on the front. That's obviously going to be gold. You've got parchment or a scroll there that needs to be a specific colour. We have metallics for the doze blade. There's not a lot of different colours on this, to be perfectly honest. A lot of it's going to be just weathering. It's only going to be a simple colour scheme. I'm going to keep it reasonably simple because at the end of the day I need to do a lot of these. So what I'm going to do, what time is it? 5:30. What I might do, rather than start doing that now, because it's a good hour's worth of painting the metallics, I don't want to stop halfway through there. I might leave it there for that painting so far, because I'll crack on with the metallics either next time. I might do some stuff off camera, but I don't know yet. I might I'm kind of really trying. The only bit I have to paint off camera is maybe just the dude, or it might be that I have to paint the turret off camera because it's small. I'm trying to paint this thing while I'm sat. No, actually that's not so bad. I'm just muttering to myself, ignore me, ignore me. That gun's not straight. That's annoying. Look at that. The bolter on the front, it's not actually straight. Oh, fudge. Fudge, massive fudge. Yeah, I'll maybe get the lead belcher done next time. Or, I say, if I do get any off camera, I might just get it done off camera and then we can crack on. So I'll get that done maybe next time. So I'm going to leave it there for the time being. I'll get rid of this newspaper because I don't need it now. Go away, newspaper. There you go. Alright, so I shall leave it there with the painting. Put that away. That's my scruffy painting mat. Plunk, there you go. I shall zoom out a bit because it's kind of zoomed in there quite a lot. Zooming out again, sir. Stand by, sir. Oh, that's zooming in. That's the wrong one. There we go. Okay, so it's not looking too bad. So yeah, you get the idea now. It's just looking a bit more not green and not just. I mean, there's nothing wrong with just painting the tracks metallic like a lead belcher. There'd be nothing wrong with painting lead belcher and then doing shades of Nuln Oil, Agrax Earth Shade, and doing dry brushing and other rust effects and dirt effects. I just kind of like doing it that way because it's, I don't know, it looks kind of cool. There's lots of dirt and stuff to put on there yet anyway, so it's nowhere near even slightly finished. Right, let's have a look at chat. Okay, chat seems to have gone quiet a little bit. There we go. You've gone quite a bit in chat. You're all doing things or eating. Don't forget, as always, like I did say, all the mods in chat at the moment do have their own channels, so you can get to their channels by clicking on their mod name or clicking on the 3 dots next to the right hand side of their comments. Do go and check them out and subscribe. Obviously, and a lot of people in the chat as well who aren't mods also have their own channels, so go and check them out. Subscribe to everybody. Don't forget, of course, like I said before, having reached 20,000 subscribers, thank you, I am giving away a Master Grade Verkar New Gundam. I'm going to put that on there. Master Grade Verkar New Gundam to one lucky follower. So go to the video on my channel. It's only like about 2 videos in, so go and find that video. A couple of videos in. Go and find that video and have a quick watch. Only a couple of minutes long. Have a quick watch and find out what you need to do to win a Verkar Master Grade New Gundam. And I'm pulling the winner on the 1st of March. So go and watch the video. Don't forget, as always, you've got the model makers Boom Hut, facebook.com/groups/model Boom Hut. Go and join it, hang out. It's a great little place to hang out. Really safe space. We don't allow bitching and snark, and we aggressively defend anyone who gets made to suffer any. So go and join that group. Chat is moving again. Dirty Llama Models, who I always have to pronounce with the Welsh bit, is Dirty Llama. Dirty Llama Models is fighting with Zaku Beads. Zaku Beads! Oh, I hate Zaku Beads. They do my head in. That's too bright now, isn't it? I've pressed something and it went wrong. There we go, it's better. Zaku Beads. Oh, the bane of any Gundam builder or Gumpler builder. Oh! Alex Guy says, what is your favourite hobby knife or scalpel? I've used various ones, but at the moment I'm rocking the Swan Morton. It's just a medical scalpel. Swan Morton medical scalpel with a number 10A blade. I don't have a preference for blades, but somebody was actually sent about 1 million 10A blades very kindly, so that's very kind. So I've got loads of them. But yeah, I use the Swan Morton, but I've also got like a disposable thing from Swan Morton I got from the local hobby store. It's a disposable one with a crappy blade. Doesn't really matter as long as it's. I mean, I would say if you can go for something with a replaceable blade because it makes life easy. You're just replacing blades all the time. But there's nothing wrong with using, you know, a bog standard box cutter type thing. I've got one of these. I don't use it for anything delicate because it's a bit like trying to crack an egg with a hammer. It's a bit OTT, but they come in handy. But yeah, you do want something nice and precise, especially if you're taking off little tiny nubs. You want something of good quality that you can gently shave a sprue nub away. I wouldn't use this to cut things off the sprue because you're just going to knacker the part. Use sprue nib cutters for that, but for just like gently shaving nubs off and things, you want something decent quality. So like you can get yourself, they're only like, I mean, this was literally, I don't know, about £8 from the local art store. I don't think there's good or bad really, but I go for a disposable, a replaceable blade handle because they're usually good quality. Demon Lahal Draws says, sorry, I was priming models on my balcony. Ooh, you got a balcony. That's very posh. Very posh having a balcony. Now you've said you've got a balcony, I can only imagine you live in a tropical paradise. Or Paris, I think. That's probably about it. So, yeah. You need to just reinforce my opinion that you live in a tropical paradise. If you don't live in a tropical paradise, just tell me you do. Just I never win anything, says George Gabriel. Let me just check something here. Paul at Team Inept has very kindly put a link in for the, I assume it's the Model Makers Boom Hut. It could be anything, it just says model. He's put a link in for what I hope is the Model Makers Boom Hut. We try and make it the safest place you can find on Facebook to do your model making and show off your stuff and just meet good people. There's a lot of groups on there where you'll all have examples in your mind of the kind of groups we're talking about, where you go in and the newbies are shot down by that guy, and there's bitching and there's snark and there's rivet counting. We don't allow any of it. If we detect somebody being a bit of a rivet counter or a snark or a bit bitchy, we just kick them out. Because we're about having fun. It's all about having good times, having fun, not taking all this stuff too seriously at all. So Come and join along. I see what you did there, says George to Dirty Llama. Well, I should say goof bead since it's no Zaku. Ah, yeah, I see what you did there. No Zaku, boy, no Zaku. I said it in hopes to up my luck. No need the new Gundam to fight the Caesar beast, says George Gabriel. Yeah, it would be cool if you won the new Gundam. The only thing I would say, George, is don't ask me to do it as a Patreon build, because you can't do a new Gundam weathered, and I don't want to do an unweathered Gundam. Oh, no. I never anything either, says Stefan last. Could be because I haven't really answered any questions. I hear that helps. Well done. Well done. Because some of you haven't... also, because a couple of you asked this, I think last time. Not everybody's seen it, so while I've got it here, I will show you. Because a few of you have asked, I've mentioned the Imperial Knights, which need a dust. I've mentioned my Imperial Knights, and I said that one was going to be a Zaku, one was going to be a Goof, and one was going to be Char's Zaku. Just so you get the idea. I've only built the Zaku so far. And the Zaku, I'll have to move the camera down for you a bit, if I can. This is where all the cables ping off and everything breaks. Oh, is it gonna explode? Maybe, who can say? Hang on. To pull my cables a bit. There we go. I haven't got any light on them, I'm afraid. The light's in all the wrong places, but let's move them back a bit. I hear a better view. Oh, I knew things would fall off, so you're making me move the camera now and everything. Oh, hang on. Everything's falling over. There we go. So that's the kind of thing, you can see the kind of thing I'm going for. That's the Zaku Knight, which is, because it's a Zaku, obviously it's a grunt vehicle, it's not well maintained, it's not, nobody really cares about it much, so it's just kind of dirty and filthy, and there's lots of paint chipping and stuff on there. Now obviously I put a lot of effort into this puppy to make it look good. It's about a week's worth of work. I'm probably not going to go this in depth for every single vehicle in the army. Like this tank might not be to quite that standard, but I'll try and get there as close as I can. It's just some basic paint chipping, which makes everything look nice. And a bit of, you know, weathering and heat staining on the big weapon. Yeah, see, there's lovely. Quite pleased with that. Bit of heat staining on there. It doesn't really come out on camera because the colours are wrong, but it's got Xeon things all over it. But that's the kind of thing we're going for. That's going to be a knackered. That's obviously a knackered Zaku. So it's all in different colours of green. The Goof will be all shades of blue and maybe a little bit weathered, but not quite as much. And then when it's finished, the Char's Zaku will obviously be, for the most part, pretty much pristine and clean, to be honest. So that's going to be a kind of boring one to paint because it's going to be red and silver, and that's kind of it. So yeah, not the most amazing paint job on the Zaku, on Char's. But we'll see. But that's the kind of thing I'm going for. And eventually, once I've painted all my entire army in about 35 years, I will actually go and have a game. I've not had a game yet. I keep painting units that I don't have the codex for. So yeah. So yeah, a few of you asked to see that. You may notice the occasional Metal Gear Solid Easter egg in there. If you don't tell anybody, because if I'll put this on the table at my local Warhammer store, and they won't know what half these symbols are. They won't know what Xeon is. They won't know that that's from Foxhound. They won't know. They'll just be like, "Cool, good paint job. What's that?" Yeah, Canon. Don't worry. It's all fluff. You said you can't weather a Caesarby, but mine will be, says George. Yeah, the Caesarby. A Caesarby you can. I don't know why, but a Caesarby lends itself to being, after you gave me the idea of what your theme you wanted, I thought, yeah, actually you can do that. But with the new Gundam, I don't know, new Gundam's like a fighter plane. It's like the Unicorn. One of the reasons I gave up on the Unicorn was I weathered it and it didn't look good, and I just gave up on it. When I did my Unicorn, my Master Grade Unicorn, I stopped halfway through because I lost the will to live. I started weathering it and it just didn't look right. It just did not work. Also, Shanghai Dragons got their first win on Friday. Oh, cool. Damn, that means I can't make it look battered and beaten now. Yeah, I will. I'll make it look battered and beaten. Hi guys, got to go. Family have arrived. Thanks for coming in, Jamie. Don't forget to mail me. You've mailed me with your stuff to send off, so that's cool. Thanks for coming in there, buddy. By the time the Caesarby is done, we'll be about another year in. Now I want to weather new Gundam, says George. Damn, I've created a monster. No, I don't think we're waiting that long. Jordan's unfortunately got delayed quite a lot. but hopefully yours. As soon as that little U-boat's done, I'll be on to the Cesarean, and hopefully I need to get it done soon anyway, because I've got to get the Millennium Falcon going, and that needs to wait until the Cesarean's done, so hopefully it won't be that long. Anything else in chat? Nothing at the moment. Right, I think what we're going to do, what time are we on now? 1:45. What I'll do, I'll have a swig of coffee, and I think we'll call that a show. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you very, very much. I need to now go downstairs and eat that curry that I've just been thinking about for the last 2.5 hours. Oh, yeah, curry. Oh yeah. For some reason, why is the... Did the stream drop at all for you guys? I'm seeing the chat hasn't been updated on the... Are you seeing the chat here? Or are you seeing an empty window? Are you seeing... Where's all the chat gone? Is that got loads of chat in there for you? I know we're about to finish, it doesn't really matter, but just out of curiosity, because I'm not seeing much chat. Drop? No. Okay. Are you seeing like a full window of chat here, or just a little bit of chat at the bottom? New chat? Yeah, I don't know what's happened with the chat. Will you be putting things like the Zaku Knight in a playlist? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I've not really considered anything about points. Okay, just a little bit of chat. Yeah, I don't know why the chat's kind of fallen over. The chat must have fallen over for some reason. Yeah, once I've actually... Because all I'm doing right now is blindly building stuff and not giving any thought to points or army build-up or anything like that. So what I'll do is, once I've got a sizable chunk of Imperial... Because I've basically got 2 codexes, or codices. I've got one for Astra Militarum, and I've got a codex for... It's a Forge World codex for Knights of the... Armour of the Imperium, or Imperial Armour. And the only reason I've got that is it's got a section on Death Corps of Krieg, and I've got a squad of Death Corps of Krieg guys. So what I'll do is I'll wait till I've got a decent squad of dudes, like I've got, you know, a fair number of my scions and bits and bobs that are covered by a codex, and then I'll start putting some playlists together. And as I grow and get more things, I'll start adding more things to it. But I mean, it might be that I don't play all 3 knights in one army list, because that'd be like 1 billion points. But I'm building them with different weapons, so like, you know, the Goof will have different weapons to the Zaku, and it might be that I use different ones at different times. So we'll see, we'll see. But I've not planned that. I don't even know how to play the game. I've not even tried that yet. I'm just building cool stuff. The chat is in a window. It's only a few entries, says Paul at Team Inept. Yeah, I don't know. The chat seems to have fallen over for some reason. Weird. The YouTube is working, but not on the no one in the vid screen. Okay, weird. The on-screen chat was gone, the regular one is working. Yeah, it's the on-screen one that just seems to have popped out of existence for some unknown reason. Very, very strange, very bizarre. I hadn't noticed. Not at all. Right, anyway, yes. So I think that's going to do us. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Don't forget, as always, although we don't have the Saturday stream for the group building the boom anymore, because that's done now, it's finished. We do have, as always, the eModels Monday live stream. So me, Ted and Chris will be doing the live stream on eModels tomorrow, 9 PM on the eModels YouTube channel. It's nothing to do with me, Model Making Guru. So don't forget we'll be doing that. I'll probably do another Elite Dangerous live stream on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm quite enjoying doing one of those a week, where I just play some Elite Dangerous and you guys just hang out. So feel free to join me for that. And this week I'm going to try and get some time at the bench to get the little U-boat done or finished. And I've got getting a bigger and bigger backlog of the Warhammer Conquest. I've actually got quite a lot on at the minute, more than I can actually do feasibly. I need somebody to be my cameraman, and somebody else doing my editing of my video, so I can just concentrate on the painting and building. If I win the lottery, I'm going to hire someone as a camera and editing dude. It's just a nightmare. You don't realise how much work is involved in actually doing all this just by yourself. It's like, oh, a one day build can take 6 weeks when you're editing. So yes, it's all fun. I'm not complaining about it. Just everything takes forever. But yes, so anyway, thank you for watching. I'm going to go downstairs now and eat all that curry. Oh, that's my dinner sorted out. And until next time, I say, as always, if you... I was going to say something then, it's gone completely. No, I can't remember what I was about to say. Don't forget to go and join the Boom Hut if you have already. If you haven't, and don't forget to go and add your comments to the 20,000 subscribers video. Go and read what you need to put and get entering. 1st of March I'm drawing that. But until next time, it remains for me to say thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome like that. Go be awesome, you there. If you've not got paint on your elbow, you're doing it wrong. And until next time, adios amoebas.